I don't know how many watch-alongs we've done over the years of shows that took place when Ronald Reagan was president, but that's going to be tonight. Happy 1986. What's going on, guys? Going way back in time. WrestleMania 2. This one should make Mike Witt pretty happy. He's been requesting this for a couple of years, and I've been putting it off, but as you guys know, this year is the year of the crappy WrestleManias. We did WrestleMania 9 a couple of weeks ago. We're going to probably do WrestleMania 11 next week, and we're going to be doing WrestleMania 2 tonight. 3 locations, New York, Chicago, and LA for this one. This is a pretty wacky show. It's not all bad, but it's kind of considered one of the weaker WrestleManias because of the kind of interesting and unique setup they had here, trying to run the 3 cities in 1986, no less. This would be difficult to do in 2025. It could be done, but it would probably still cause a few issues here or there. And the fact that they did this on pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, closed circuit, as Tito shakes the whole building here, and they were able to do this in the 80s, is pretty wild, and I'm not surprised WWE has not tried to do this again. So we are here to watch WrestleMania 2 this evening. Good to see everybody here. Happy 316 Day. I got a retweet from Stone Cold about 5 or 6 years ago on 316 once. So yeah, if you're celebrating, cheers to you. I got my nice trusty 805s back. The store I went to last week didn't have them. I had to have Stella. So I'm back to my 805. I like these. They're a little darker. I don't have to show the label. No brand, no brand promotion or anything like that here on the channel. Just a frosty cold brew with my homies. So if you got one open, cheers to you. Happy 316. Just don't dump it all over your face and waste all that beer like Austin used to do. I'm going to say hello to the chat right now. While I'm doing that, head over to Peacock. Find WrestleMania. You're going to want Season 2, Episode 1. The runtime for this, kind of long, 3 hours, 1 minute, and 18 seconds. So this is going to be a 3-hour pay-per-view as opposed to a 2-hour and 40-minute pay-per-view or 2:45 like it normally is. And at some point between now and this year's WrestleMania, we're probably going to watch a 4-hour WrestleMania like WrestleMania 23 or 24 or whatever one we haven't gotten to yet. I think 23 is probably going to be likely for this year as well. So even though that's not a bad one, I didn't want to do all bad ones this year. We got to throw some good ones in. And 23, I think, was halfway decent from what I recall. I know the main event's good. So we'll get to that this week as well. Do me a favor, thumbs up button, smash that, all that jazz, and get your Peacock pulled up for WrestleMania 2. And then in just a couple of minutes, we will all hit play together. Once we do that, the timer right below me begins to run. And that way, if you experience ads or anything like that, you can sync back up with the timer. I have killed ads on this video. Let me double check that that is accurate. Yes, monetization and ads are off for this one. So you shouldn't be interrupted by any ads on YouTube. But it might be different for you on Peacock, depending on what kind of tier you got. All right, let's find that chat. Who do I have to say hi to? Regina Rice. As a woman, I find it off-putting that after this event, women's wrestling became totally irrelevant. It was not around much after this. It hung around until 87. It was there in 87. Sensational Sherry won the championship. The Jumping Bomb Angels came in and won the tags. It was mostly after 87 that it disappeared. I mean, hell, even 89. I mean, Rockin' Robin was the champion in 1989. So I would say it kind of lingered until around 1989, and then was pretty much gone after that until they brought the title back in the Attitude Era, or no, with a Lunder Blaze. So we had a little bit of a break there in the women's wrestling in WWE, Regina, but it really wasn't that prominent in the 80s. Even though it hung around till 89, you didn't get a whole lot of women's wrestling at all back in those days. VHS Nostalgia, good to see you. Michael Tong. Zane G is here. We got Melissa. We've got Garrett Osborne. WrestleMania 2, what the world has come to. Is that the tagline? I thought it was what the world is watching. It might be what the world has come to. Who knows? Mike Rouse, good to see you. We've got Tatanani in the house. Hart versus Steamboat. Okay. This is a fantasy book. I was like, Hart versus Steamboat is not on the show. They only wrestled once in the Boston Garden. K-Dogs, Keno, good to see you. Can't stay long, sadly, due to work, but I will start my 43rd birthday tomorrow, with watching the rest. Happy 43rd. I got a few years on you there, Kevin, or K-Dog. And I'm glad that we're both in our 40s looking down on all these youngins down here. Happy early birthday to you. I'm assuming that means your birthday's at midnight tonight. You got a St. Patrick's Day birthday? Enjoy some green beer, my friend. That's going to be fun. And I'm glad you're going to pick the rest of this up tomorrow. We will be here, by the way, tomorrow afternoon reviewing Raw because Cena is going to show up tomorrow in Brussels. Good to see Ryan Dempsey. We got George Morris with his token 5. Thanks for that, man. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito and Elizabeth? WrestleMania 2, 5 out of 10. Hopefully 23 next week. And WrestleMania 2, heavily edited on Anthology. Do you have it? Yeah, I've got Anthology. I actually have this. I have 3 copies of WrestleMania 2, the big box VHS. And back there somewhere, right by my shoulder, right there. That right there, that's that Anthology, and I've never watched any of those discs ever, so I have no idea how edited they are or not, but sounds like WrestleMania 2 is pretty edited on that. And Tito and Elizabeth doing great as always. George, thank you for that. Brandon McNeil, William Cullen, We Are Pro Wrestling, MJ Parker, Ryan Adams, our boy. We got Surge in the house, Mike Games version 1. I think I got Tatanani. Good to see David Brown and the Juliet, Crazy J, Jay Richter, and we also have Alan Barkley and the Juliet chiming in too with her happy 316 day. Thank you so much for that, Juliet. Chase is here as well, along with Ben Espinoza. There is Mike Witt. Right on. So glad we're getting WrestleMania 2 for you. We got Tony in the house. We've got Chris Ludek here with his $5. Thank you for that, my friend. Would you dump another full beer on your head for a $100 super chat? Also, Duke is a 1 seed. Let's go, Duke. Yeah, they had that Duke Carolina game on the other night at work, and I watched who they played, Louisville or something last night. So Duke is a 1 seed. And I guess they did all that bracket seeding today. I don't really care about college basketball, but Duke used to be in my old stomping ground. And I got a lot of friends who are Duke fans. Dump another full beer on my head for $100? Maybe. Those were the early days of the channel. I still have that clip. Fun stuff. Maybe. If somebody drops $100 and says, I demand you dump a beer on your head, then I might have to. But I might have to up it to $200 because I don't want to have to pause the watch along to change my shirt, you know. I might have to up that one. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If there's $100 come in here and flies in here, we'll see what we can do. Jay Richter, go blue, huh? Yeah. They got the 5 seed, huh? For the Wolverines. Matt Karcher, everybody else. Spawn, good to see you. I better stop flapping my gums because it's already 12 past the hour, and this is a 3-hour show, and I don't want to keep you guys up all night. So hopefully, while I've been talking, you guys have got your peacocks pulled up to WrestleMania 2, and we'll do a quick countdown from 3, and we will all hit play together, as is the case with every Sunday. And I'm curious, I don't remember. I think they went New York first, then Chicago, then LA? Did they do it by time zone? Or is it Chicago first, then New York, then LA? I think it's New York, Chicago, LA is the order that these shows are in. It's got to be because the Chicago show was the Battle Royal with the NFL players and all of that. So I think that's going to be the second block of matches here. So yeah, should be fun. I have not watched this pay-per-view straight through probably since I was a kid. And I was 9 years old, 8.5 years old when this show came out. So I was just a youngin'. All right, let's rock WrestleMania 2. We'll go countdown from 3, and then we will hit play. Here we go. All right, I am locked and loaded if you guys are. 3, 2, 1, play. All right, we good? We good. Look at this snazzy intro here. Oh, it is what the world has come to. WWE's tagline was what the world is watching. This is what the world has come to. Oh, good stuff. There's New York first. Vince is going to call the New York show. A lot of trust for Vince McMahon to have 2 other shows operating in the country, the whole different commentary team and agents. People are still filing into WrestleMania here.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you my color co-host and America's #1 actress today. Would you please welcome Miss Susan St. James?
Susan St. James. They were running thin on announcers for this because everybody was so spread out with Jesse and Gorilla, and I think even Mean Gene might have been on one of the calls. I don't remember who's calling all these matches. But she'll be sitting in with Vince for this. I don't even know who she is. I think this is Ray Charles, right? One of my favorites. Ray Charles. I liked him and Aretha Franklin and I think Little Richard the best. Ray Charles. What year did Ray Charles pass away? I don't remember. Boy, 1986. Oof, fix the mic. All right, we're going to get a nice little video montage here as Ray Charles belts out America the Beautiful. Oh, that's Dick Ebersol's wife? I didn't know that. I had no idea that that was Dick Ebersol's wife. I remember her on commentary. She didn't really sound like she knew what the fuck she was talking about, but... And I think Elvira is, she's either the LA show or the next one. Or maybe she's not on commentary. Elvira's there, though. Oh, 2004. He lived until 2004? Damn. He's old here. Yeah, as far as I know, I think it's Gorilla on, and maybe Jesse too on the call for the Hogan match. I don't remember the order. Who are those guys? There's a cowboy. Yeah, I don't even remember Kate and Allie. I have no recollection of what that show even was. I never watched it. Hingle McCringleberry, what's up, man? Greg, how are you feeling? Not great, to be honest. I'm slightly under the weather, which sucks because I got to belt out some more recordings tonight. So I'm trying to do away with my nasalness. So I'm not feeling great. And then tomorrow I got to be up to watch Raw, and then I got to go to the doctor, and then I got to come home and review Raw. And then Tuesday morning I have dental surgery. I'm a mess over here. Sweet America. Okay, is Ray Charles? He's got kind of a famous version of this, right? What's the version they play in Sandlot? Is it Ray Charles? You know, like when they go out and play ball on 4th of July and they're playing at night because it's lit up by the fireworks and they're playing this song. Is it Ray Charles? Sounds like him. I love Ray Charles. He's only 56 here. He looks 80. He looks like he went to high school with Abraham Lincoln. Yes, Lee Marshall. Lee Marshall is here at WrestleMania 2. Former WCW personality and voice of Tony the Tiger. Frosted Flakes. Oh, yeah. Every time Susan says, oh, George, yeah. That's going to be in that George Steele and Macho Man match. Bald eagle. Look at this shot of Hogan and then the fireworks. That is so funny looking. Like that's the picture of Hogan they chose to use. He's got bedhead. He's not even all oiled up, and he's got his rib tape on from the Bundy splashes. You should have had a picture of him with the belt, like showing his muscles. Pathetic. Who is this Kevin Dunn? All right, well, Ray Charles is already out of the ring. Somebody's in there. I believe that's Mr. Wonderful.
Oh my, what a way to kick off WrestleMania 2 with the great Ray Charles. Hi everybody, Mean Gene Okerlund here at the
Yeah, he was. Lee was in AWA too.
suburban Chicago, Illinois, where later on you're going to be seeing a gigantic 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. You can cut the electricity in the air with the knife. It is something else.
You can cut the electricity in the air with a knife. Do you want to be sticking a knife up into electricity?
Roddy Piper
That's bad, right?
for his boxing.
Don't do that. Go. Hey, y'all, any of y'all got a kitchen knife? Go stick it in your electrical socket and then report back in the chat how that went.
This is the best prospect going. He's trained diligently. He's in real good shape.
Train diligently.
It's all over. Tonight, he's in shape and he's going to do his job. Right, Roddy?
I'm cute. I grew my hair long
That way, during the fight tonight, you can tell the difference between me and T. I figured some of you folks out there may get a little confused. I have got the absolute best coach in the entire world to train me. I've been down with Biggs training, with Spinks training. He went and smoking Joe Frazier in his
This is kind of the end. We're nearing the end
medicine ball
of Piper's heel run here. A few more months,
down to 290.
and then he'd start getting into it with Adrian Adonis.
So you say, Roddy Ball, you're sitting there talking. I say this to you. I say, if Mr. T can knock me out in this fight right here, I would not only quit professional boxing, I would quit and retire professional wrestling. I would quit tiddlywinks. I would quit dating.
You quit tiddlywinks. Don't quit tiddlywinks.
I would quit it all. I would now say, if he can knock me out, I retire, and I'm going to stick my head out there round after round after round and put it out there because as pretty as that is, he's going to shoot some punches. I'm going to be moving like that, just like Coach taught me. He's going to shoot some more. I'm going to be moving like that. And another thing, you know,
This match isn't exactly Butterbean versus Bart Gunn.
with the kill, but let me tell you something. Never will I shave my hair like an Indian and paint myself black.
Piper says he'll never paint himself black. Oh, really, Piper? May I invite you to watch WrestleMania 6? Lion fucker. Maybe that's why he painted himself black, because he said he wouldn't. So this is Paul Orndorff versus Don Morocco. Orndorff has been a babyface ever since the previous year's WrestleMania, when he was kind of deserted there by his team.
His opponent from Tampa, Florida, weighing 252 pounds.
I love this because I don't remember who wins.
Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
I was a big fan of both, probably slightly more a Morocco fan than Orndorff. I had both of their I had all three of their figurines here. I had Fuji, Morocco, and Orndorff. I had them all. The Orndorff figure was jacked. It was like bigger than Hogan. All right, Mr. Wonderful versus Don Morocco. Fun match. Michael Kumo, thanks for the 5. Don't forget. I didn't forget. I wasn't listing matches, was I? Jake Roberts against George Wells. That match traumatized me as a kid because George froths at the mouth. Oh, maybe you meant the George part. Yeah, because somebody mentioned her saying, "Oh, George." Yeah, I forgot George Steele and George Wells. George Wells with a WrestleMania match, as weird as that sounds. But he got one.
Hello to everybody out there in TV land. A lot of people's been wanting to know how Mr. Wonderful's been feeling. What has he been up to? Well, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing.
Paul, how are you talking when you're in the ring? Oh, it must be a pre-tape.
My life. In Morocco, tonight is you're going to be mine.
It's very clean wrestling mat, isn't it? Very clean.
Hi, there were comments earlier on. Mr. Wonderful Ball will lead us now. Up in the air. What a body slam by Morocco. Kicked out by Orndorff.
It was good to know that WWE at least has 3 rings. They were able to set up 3 shows here. They didn't have to run out and rent one.
Mr. Fuji apparently does not like what he's hearing by his companion.
And imagine, too, back in these days, Vince McMahon, communication-wise, like, there's no cell phones, there's no anything like that. So if he's communicating with the other 2 venues, it's got to all be by telephone. And he's on the call here. So Vince has a lot of trust in his crew here to pull off these 3 shows, especially when he's expected to be on commentary. Morocco was kind of instrumental in getting to that Hogan and Bundy match, too, because Hogan was working with Morocco when the Bundy stuff started. Mike Witt's got 10. This brings back so many memories. This is the first show I watched live, watched on closed circuit in a movie theater with best friend and his dad. Great times. That's awesome. I never experienced the closed circuit experience. And I could have, because we had that in Detroit, but I don't know. I never went. And this would have been one of the shows I would have seen, but I only have memories of seeing the results in the newspaper. And I don't even remember when I saw this show. I'm sure as soon as it was available in the movie or in the video rental place, I rented it, but I couldn't tell you. It might have been a full year. I don't really know how long it took me back in the mid-'80s to see this show after it aired. I would guess it was probably a minimum of 6 months until I was able to see any of this. outside of, you know, magazines. But I would have liked to do the closed circuit thing back then. That would have been fun. I've watched a couple of pay-per-views of, like, in bars, but I've never watched in, like, a movie theater setting. Or you know those big bars now that have those just gigantic screens that makes you feel like you're at the game? And if you're seeing videos of it, those people look like they're at the game. Maybe watching, like, a WrestleMania on one of those would be kind of cool. Ancient Chinese techniques. That's what Paul Orndorff is using. I don't think Paul Orndorff even could point China out on a map, much less use Chinese techniques. Orndorff's awesome, but he's a dumb Florida hick. I don't think he knows ancient Chinese techniques. Billy Kidman in the house. Bro, you got to pull up Peacock for this. No Netflix. See the timer there? That little note that says follow along on Peacock? That's where we follow along at. I was always a big fan of your work, Billy Kidman. Thanks for being here. Do you have any photos of Tori? Never mind. We won't go there. 5 more for Mike Witt. Oh, we got a double count out. That's what we're doing? Oh, fucking A. I was about to say, I don't even know who would go over in a situation like this because both guys at the time here in 1986 had absolutely equal spots on the roster. Orndorff in Morocco. And we would be, I'm trying to think when, we're probably just a couple of months away from Orndorff turning on Hogan, which is probably really soon after this. Because then Orndorff and Hogan would work 86. And they had awesome matches. Orndorff is... I kind of knew Orndorff's family a little bit. They owned a couple of bowling alleys in, like, Florida. I went and bowled in one of them. Back when I was touring as a bowler. That was so fast. I thought it was the post shot that caused the DQ, but it was a double count out, I guess. All right. Look at the Fink. A little bit of hair on his head. Or maybe it is a DQ. I don't know. Fink, let us know. Yeah, Tito is on WrestleMania 2. He's in a tag team match. Oh, and now we're going to go to a break? Like, is that how you want to open WrestleMania, with a double count-out shitty match the last 3 minutes? Check out the Haiti Kid. Who's that with T? Is that Frazier? Is that Joe Frazier? I'm going to hit him everywhere, man. Hit him everywhere. You going to do dirty stuff? I'm going to do dirty stuff. Haiti Kid's going to do dirty stuff. We'll all do dirty stuff. Howard announces the double count out while Mr. T is talking. They got to get their act together. Now we're on to the next match. All right. This doesn't feel like a WrestleMania to me. It feels like a clusterfuck house show. Oh, here's George. Well, I'm old enough to remember him as a heel. I remember when he turned face.
To be led towards the ring by Elizabeth from Sarasota, Florida.
Does Macho have music? Yeah, he does.
the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Randy
I liked Animal Steel when I was little and he was a bad guy, and then his first like year or two being a babyface, I liked him okay. But once he brought out the doll, the mine, and the green tongue and all that, I started caring less. And look at Elizabeth. Look at that security. Now Macho had just won that belt. Yeah, that 85 and 86 Elizabeth look was classic. And then the following next 2 years, her hair would kind of change. And I love that belt, that classic I see with the red WWF logo at the top that they would keep for a couple of years. As a kid, I remember being disappointed that George Steele didn't win the Intercontinental title, but as an adult, I'm really glad he didn't. Yeah, Tito and Elizabeth both making WrestleMania appearances. Here's Elizabeth. We'll see Tito later. God, how do you have that much hair on your back? Were his parents apes? Or was one of his parents an ape? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's just an unfortunate... That's unfortunate genetics there. You're just going to be covered from head to toe in hair. Yeah, Macho, he's probably a little bit stuck here, not knowing what to do with a crazy person like this.
And George the Animal Steele. And again, the Macho Man leaps from the ring.
From everything that I've heard, George wasn't even that much of a likable guy. Like, when he was an agent and stuff, I don't think people loved him very much. He was kind of a... I remember back when they would do interviews, or George Steele would be interviewed years later about this feud. And he would say, like, because back then he was all obsessed and smitten with Elizabeth, chasing her around and stuff. And he claims that the reason he was so smitten with Elizabeth is because his wife doesn't do windows, and he thought Elizabeth could do his windows. Like, that's his excuse. That's his explanation for why he was obsessed with Elizabeth, and he kidnapped her a couple times because he needed somebody to do his windows. That's awfully sexist. The original story of him just not liking the way Macho Man treats her and wanting to save her is much nicer than wanting her to do his windows.
And the Macho Man moves right in now. George, look at the strength of George the Animal Steele.
Macho, huh?
George and Macho's issue would carry over, man, all the way into next year's WrestleMania. George would be at ringside with Ricky. There he is, all about Miss Elizabeth. Oh, nice.
The Animal has made this mistake once before. And here,
Curious how old George Steele was here.
must ask the Macho Man.
Late 40s, I would think.
Caught in the ropes, helpless.
How do you call that macho when you attack somebody when they're caught in the ropes?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Come on, George. Uh-oh.
From the top rope, the Macho Man. A leap. George, look at that.
What was that?
Shoulders are down to the Macho Man.
I thought it was going to be the double axe, but then he came off kind of like high cross body. Thanks for 10 more, Mike Witt. This card also has what I consider the worst Mania match ever. Uncle Elmer versus Adrian Adonis from LA. Horrible looking match. Yeah. I uploaded something on that match once. I don't remember what. I put a video up somewhere on social media talking about that match. I don't know where it was from. I think it was a clip I took or whatever. I'm not really sure. Oh, there's Macho going under the ring. I want that WrestleMania 2 banner. I want one. The blue curtain around the apron, or the apron doesn't even look like it's a curtain. It looks like a blue tarp that you would get from like a hardware store to like cover your firewood. Fucking $4. $4 for like 50 feet of it. Oh, thanks. It was an April Fool's video. I'm still curious where I took that from. Like, when did I do a WrestleMania 2 review? Why would I have even talked about that match? I don't know. Oh, yeah, April 1st is coming up, isn't it? Oof. Those look... Oh, God. Those look dangerous. Those flowers, those pokies. I wouldn't want to be shoved in the face with those. God, something goes in your eye. That could be rough. That was a bite open. I always wonder if these things were gimmicked or if he really... There's no way he bit into them, but... I don't know what the hell that stuff is. Asbestos. It's all in the hair of George. Did Steele come out and make an appearance with the Oddities on Raw? Because I know he'd made a Nitro appearance. He might have done one with the Oddities too. Cool. I guess I remember that. Like 98. He was probably working there still as an agent at the time, maybe. Look at all that shit in the ring. Full-blown concrete out there too. No pads, no nothing. Very basic setup here. Get the big elbow on George. Does he? I don't think he wins with this. Oh, but he hit it. Does George kick out of a finisher? Oh, kids today ruining the business. Too many finisher kickouts. And he's right up on his feet. Look at George with the no-sell. He just took that Macho Man elbow, and he's right up. In 5 years, Ultimate Warrior will go, hold my beer. Oof. Macho with his feet on the ropes.
I can't believe that.
Bye. He's like, I'm out of here. So that was the first person to kick out of the top rope elbow? Crazy. Mike Witt, you're so old, you're old enough to remember Bundy with hair in WCCW. I'm old enough to remember, but I don't think I saw him I think I saw him later on in magazines with the hair. No Elizabeth, no title belt, but he did get to eat 3 turnbuckles. What a cheater. Oh, okay. Steele was going. Okay, I guess I vaguely remember that.
I hope that official's got his own bodyguard.
He definitely would qualify as an oddity.
Momentarily, we will take you to Chicago.
Yeah, Susan St. James is a pile of shit on commentary, but they were spread pretty thin. Who's in the ring there? That might be George Wells in the ring. I think we got Jake and George up next. So back-to-back George matches. Look at this. Big John Studd, and I forget who this guy is. Bill Fralick, yeah.
Well, all the talk's done, Gene. I'm waiting to get a hold of the stud here or whatever they've done. See what he can do down here.
I mean, I don't know. In a shoot, what do you think? Fralick or Studd? I might go Fralick.
There's no class. He's a football player. You know, Perry, I'm going to get Perry right here in your hometown, and I'm going to get you, bud. When I think of football players, you're not playing with a ball, buddy. You're playing with John Studd. I think football players, and I smash them. Look what
Studd would be gone after this, too. He'd hang around for a few more months, but by the end of the year, I think he was gone. Nowhere to be found when WrestleMania 3 rolled around.
Bill Fralick, I apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. Here comes the match in 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever, Dud. We'll see what you're made out of there. We're going to find out what it looks like. It's really
5, 10, 20 minutes. You got longer than that because it's in Chicago later.
all right. Thank you very much. Me and Gene Okerlund. Looks like we're going to have a little havoc.
Susan St. James. Look at Vince probably putting the moves on her. Sick freak.
Let me ask you a question, Susan.
Yes, sir.
Do you like snakes?
You know, this is going to be a tough one for me because I'm not big on snakes. But there's always a chance he'll lose and we won't have to see the snake.
There's always a chance he'll lose, and we won't have to see the snake, right? Yes, Susan, that's correct.
Oh, we're going to see the snakes.
I like how they have the screens up there over the ring. That must be when they're showing the event from the other venues.
George Wells.
Interesting buying a ticket to WrestleMania, but only get to seeing a third of the show.
How does George feel about snakes?
I don't think George Wells
He
likes
wants to
snakes.
see that snake. I don't
All
know.
right. Let's go up now to ring announcer Howard.
I don't know why this was a WrestleMania match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. In the ring to my
Why didn't you just put George Wells in the Battle Royal
170 pounds,
and give Jake
Wells.
somebody from the Battle Royal?
His opponent, making his way towards the ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 249 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Where I can't even see on this wide shot where the entrance is. Here comes Jake.
All right. There's a look.
There it is, Vince, in that
Jake the
side.
Snake.
Yeah, no music yet. Jake had just come in. Wasn't there very long.
Unbelievable.
In that very bag, we are told that he has a
For some reason, Jake's LJN figure is super short. It's just short. He's tall. Oh, wow, he just went right over or after George.
right away on Jake the Snake.
I mean, Wells is tall, too. And bigger and stronger than Jake.
A right hand. Wells. Forearm uppercut.
Oh, miss, Jake.
And now Jake the Snake right on Wells sends him flying.
That was a Vince pick. Do you like snakes? Oh, my God. Happy 316 day, Ricky. Yeah, I don't know why Jake made his entrance all butthurt looking. He looked pissed.
Set up for the ride coming off the ropes. Big rod. Nicely done. Oh, look at the shoulder block by Wells.
Nice big shoulder tackle.
Shades off his Canadian football career. George Wells, one of the greats from Canada. Headbutt by George Wells. This thus far is the toughest match to date that Jake the Snake has had.
Yeah, we may not have to see that snake after all, Vince.
All right, back to the corner and whip to the far side.
Oh, boy.
Come on, Jake, you're getting manhandled here. I don't think I've gone back and watched this match since I was a kid. I just remember the end. Look at that. Look at George. Fancy maneuver is right. Hell of a head scissors there.
Sorry, kid.
All right, now Wells with a lot of momentum here. And now the scoop. Does he get him up? Yes, he does. And a body slam. George Wells has gained about 20 to 30 pounds over the last 6 months, bulking up.
Oof. Good right hand. Jesus. Flattened Jake.
Yes, but I wonder why there Wells did not go for a cover. He had Jake the Snake down on the canvas.
If I were him, I'd get it over with really quickly.
Knee lift.
Wow. Jake getting hit with a knee lift and selling it. Knee lift is kind of Jake's deal.
But again, you see the rather methodical approach.
Jake, Ricky was a heel here.
Apparently he feels as though he has the match well in
Came in as a heel. He was babyface by the next year's WrestleMania. Short-lived heel run.
Some good moves before finishing him off. Whoa.
And look at that power slam. That's your doing. He has it cradled. Count of 2 and almost 3.
Jake's heel run would be 5 years almost. Or, I'm sorry, babyface run. Then he'd go back to being a heel in 92. And then he would, or 91. And then he would be gone.
Open your eyes up, George.
Back on his feet now, Jake the Snake. Still backing off. Lunging now and almost, well, yes, sliding, almost slithering to the outside. Wells is out there with him. And here, killing time.
Here, get the DDT right here. Oh, knee lift, smart. About to say, I'd hit him with a DDT as he's coming in the ring.
That was a pretty sharp move. Got a little breather. Came
Yes,
in.
indeed. Oh, what's he doing now? Right back on his man. Oh, no. Look
There's a
at
DDT.
on his head. That's the maneuver that's knocked out many an opponent. And the 3 count. George Wells not. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm trying to see if George has got like an Alka-Seltzer in his hand or something like that.
Well, maybe George is
Or if they pass him something.
There's nothing in the bag. We hope not. Uh-oh. And George Wells is, I believe, still unconscious.
I'm trying to watch his hand to see if he puts something in his mouth.
Goodness. Look at that.
Damn, right by his head.
Literally slithering right over to George Wells' head. Look at that. Oh, he's not going to put it on him. Oh, he wrapped it underneath him and back around. Look at that. That's a python. He has it wrapped all over George Wells.
Poor George.
No, look at that. Imagine the constricting of the snake
The constricting.
across the throat of George Wells.
I just hope it
Jeez.
loses that somebody
This is one of the funniest post-match
Look at this.
snake spots. Look at that. Ew.
Look at that.
Oh, Vince.
I remember that just really doing a number on me as a kid. Like, holy shit, he might have killed this guy.
And the snake tightening its grip. Finally, I think. Look at it. Hopefully.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
my goodness. Look at this. Ugh. Is that disgusting or
put
what?
that thing back in the bag.
I'll say.
Oh, really?
Does he remind you of anyone you know, Susan?
Oh,
Itch.
certainly not.
Ugh.
All right, we got the point, Jake.
Yeah, Jake, we got the point already.
Poor George.
Poor George.
Better work it. He should have taken him out earlier in the match when he had the advantage.
Yeah. Susan's right about that.
He certainly had his opportunity earlier on.
He really did.
Nonetheless, it'll go down as a victory once again for Jake the Snake Roberts, and thus far, Jake the Snake is undefeated.
Still undefeated. They still have the flowers and all the shit on the outside of the ring from the Savage match.
That was the maneuver that knocked George Wells unconscious, after which, of course, we saw the friend.
Bounced him right off his head.
Yes, he did indeed. And
So are Vince and Susan calling these matches just in these chairs?
as we stated earlier on,
I guess so.
undefeated streak remains intact, and Jake the Snake and
No, Jake was long face way before Rude came in.
we're going to take you now, ladies and gentlemen, to some videotape footage.
It was kind of the honky tonk man
Somewhat of a hit
that did it.
of how Roddy Piper and Mr. T
Oh, Mr. T and Piper are up next. No Fox Star. I think I missed, you said a milestone super chat. What I missed? I missed one? Oh, yeah, right there. I saw that. I just hadn't gotten to it yet. Damn, 27 months. Seeing Paul Orndorff and now George Steele gave me serious WCW 2000 flashbacks. Steele was Jeff's first opponent, yep, in the Triple Three Theater. That was when it was like Tito and Snooker, right? And then, yeah, and Orndorff was there wrestling a lot.
What's happening here?
I believe T is asking the referee to step out of the ring, McMahon.
Oh, this is how him and Piper can box.
Don't tell me there. I think Piper has issued a challenge to Mr. T.
I kind of think it would be I don't think Piper would necessarily beat Mr. T in a fight, and I don't think T would necessarily beat Piper in a fight. I think they can both fight to a certain degree.
This is unbelievable, McMahon. What a matchup. What a matchup. Piper and T from behind.
Mr. T.
That's one way to put him down.
Yes, there's no doubt we are looking forward to the matchup with Mr. T and Roddy Piper. 10 rounds of boxing, but still
10 rounds of boxing. That's so funny.
Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion Hulk Hogan and Jesse the Body Ventura. Let's
Oh, look at there. Hogan and Jesse.
McMahon, you don't have to throw nothing to me. This is Jesse the Body out in Los Angeles with WrestleMania 2. With me, World Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan. Hogan, your ribs are injured. You're facing the biggest, toughest man I believe you've ever faced in your career in King Kong Bundy inside a steel cage. Man, I can't believe you do something like that as champion of the world.
Jesse.
What you believe, brother. You're getting paid to ask the questions. Whether my ribs are busted up or not, I'm going to defend them.
My favorite era of Hulk Hogan was the sideways bandana like this. That, like, I can smell my childhood room when I see that, you know?
Ventura. And as far as Mr. T and Roddy Piper, I'm going to make a prediction that Mr. T is going to come out on top because he's fighting for what he believes in too. And Piper, just like a lot of other dudes around here, like you, Ventura, take a lot of shortcuts and go down awful quick. I'll just say this. Good guys don't.
You can tell Jesse and Hogan are cool here, and I miss that. You know, this is before the shit hit the fan with them. So even though they're playing babyface and heel there, you could tell their relationship was just fine in 86.
I saw that match. I can't believe it. I'm really rooting for Hulk.
All right, well, standing by now, ladies and gentlemen, our ring announcer, Howard Finkel, just about ready to introduce all the guest celebrities.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I should like to introduce our guest ring announcer.
Yes.
She is without a question
Is this Elvira? No.
the premier comedian in the world today.
Oh, it's Joan Rivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Joan.
The incomparable. She's incomparable? She's one of the biggest she's not a great comedian. She never was. I mean, I didn't think she was that funny. She's got that crazy voice.
First of all, is this wonderful? It's just incredible.
Joan Rivers.
I am thrilled to be at WrestleMania 2. I would like to introduce the judges to you.
Oh, yeah, who are the judges?
Our first judge, the man who is best known for slamming and jamming the basketball. From NBA New Jersey.
Daryl Dawkins. I didn't know. I forgot about Daryl Dawkins. Slamming and jamming the basketball. Is he going to get in the ring? Do you have to get in the ring for this? Can't you just sit outside? He's a very tall person. You want to get some of that, Joan? I think she likes. Wave. She goes, wave. Wave and get the fuck out. That's what she told him.
Okay. Our next judge is one of show business's legends, the Heidi High Man, Cab Calloway.
Cab Calloway. All right. How old would Randy Orton have been at WrestleMania 2?
Our third judge,
He would have been 6. Yeah, he might have been there.
favorite Watergate judges, G. Gordon Liddy.
Yay. Don't know who you are either. I'll kiss G. Gordon Liddy. All right. I don't know who any of these people are, except for Daryl Dawkins.
And now someone I am dying to meet, the timekeeper, Herb.
Herb. Look at him getting in the ring like that. Look at him, white socks. Herb just pulled a Drew Carey. Look at this. Look at his little special, fabulous ass. Little dance, little white socks. All right.
And now it's time for the main event. A scheduled
Oh, from the Blues Brothers movie. Oh, okay. Huh.
All right, anxiously
I don't think I've ever heard of Cab Calloway. I don't know who he was.
participants.
I mean, I saw Blues Brothers, but wasn't registering.
And you can bet that we're going to see the fur fly in this one, Susan, as Roddy Piper boxes with Mr. T.
I've been waiting for this for 2 months.
It's about time that Mr. T had his moment in the sun here tonight.
There's a look at some of the capacity crowd here at the Nassau County Coliseum. In Uniondale, Long Island, rather, in the shadow of New York City. And you wonder just how many rounds this fight will go. You wonder, will it go the distance of 10 rounds, Susan?
I don't know if it'll go the distance. I'm just hoping they'll
Go the distance.
keep their eyes open and not let the same thing happen again where somebody slips in backwards and twists advantage.
Here comes Piper.
It could actually go to 10. There's no way that Roddy could win straight fair like that. He's not a boxer.
All right.
Coming in. First to second. The ace comedy funny man, Mr. Bob Orman.
Who?
Ace Cowboy Orton.
Olympic trainer extraordinaire.
Did she call him Space Cowboy Orton?
Behind Roddy Piper.
Or no, Ace. Okay, I was Space Cowboy.
Here he comes.
She's just getting a Piper as Mr. T is making his way down.
Joe Frazier. And Mr. T behind Smokin' Joe.
It's not a very organized event. It's all over the place, but Joan doesn't know what's happening.
Next, Master of Champions Sean Donnelly. Third, former heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Smokin' Joe Frazier. And from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 236 pounds, Mr. T.
Mr. T's from Chicago. Why wasn't this match in the Chicago venue?
What was that? The always great.
Let's put the Battle Royal. Oh, you can't put the Battle Royal over here. Put something else. Put the tag match over here.
Earlier, he looks like he's in incredible shape. Better shape than the last time.
Oh, yes, Mr. T is really ready. But then again, so is Roddy Piper. As we take a look at Mr. T, who's had quite a bit more.
And them trying to work a boxing match is just,
Roddy Piper
it's like trying to work an MMA fight. Like,
loosening up. Roddy Piper and Lou Duva has trained Mr. Piper well, very well. Little consultation going on, and I think the referee is about ready to bring the participants out. Come on. Well, the instructions.
Hello there. I thought you gentlemen know the rules of the state athletic commission. No hitting on the break.
like I always thought later on, maybe not during the time this was happening, but later on, I always thought Piper was just kind of unreasonably hateful towards Mr. T. And I couldn't really figure out why, other than, race. Like what was his problem? Like, I'd like to think it's just a Kaufman and Lawler thing where secretly they're totally cool and Piper just, kept the charade up in interviews and stuff. But, even later on in years, he would talk about how he just didn't like Mr. T and stuff, and now they didn't get along. Like, why not? Like,
Glad I'm up here.
Yes, indeed. And here's a good look at Roddy Piper. Last minute instruction, and here Mr. T over in his corner. All right.
Come on, T.
Beginning of round one. Mr. T to southpaw against Roddy Piper. Piper with a decided reach advantage. Mr. T will have to get to the inside. Both fighters somewhat feeling each other out now. Mr. T somewhat of a peekaboo style. As Roddy
peekaboo style.
throw left jabs. And T going downstairs to the midsection. Hitting
And it's got to be just hard to do that. I mean, you got to try to, lay it in, but also not make it look,
Mr. T.
or not kill the guy. But trying to, work a boxing punch.
Yeah, sure.
And the official hoping to maintain order all the way through the matchup. Piper has a very sharp left jab, but he keeps it a little bit low. Mr. T
Vince, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut up.
now against the rope.
He's got a really good jab, but he keeps it a little bit low. Shut up.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, ref.
Like, Vince, we've seen your punches. They're terrible.
A warning now to Roddy Piper.
He flips off the referee.
See that? That Roddy.
He's an intimidating sort. T moving
He's an intimidating sort.
trying to back Piper up into the corner. Asking for the break, and yes, Mr. T backs off.
Of course, because Mr. T's a boxer, he plays by the rules. Watch this.
Moving in. Piper, look at this. T T with a peekaboo. Look at this. Not getting hit.
There we go. Nice little duck and combo counter there. They think they're going to go 10 rounds here? Like, what, 3-minute rounds? That's crazy. That's fucking insane.
Rights and lefts, and T going downstairs.
Yeah, T missed. Piper's missing all of his shots.
Stop. Not doing any damage.
He might, but then a T, look at this, spins him around now. And again, oh, come on, Piper. Thank goodness those are thumbless gloves.
Watch out, Roddy. Don't get overconfident.
Piper trying to measure Mr. T.
Come on, T.
Ooh, right hand by Piper landing. And moving in, now T coming right back at him. Look at this. Both fighters swung around now to the
So far, this is better than Butterbean and Bart Gunn.
referee having
Watch
some.
Roddy here. Always gets a couple more in on the rig.
He does indeed. Only 30 seconds left in round one. Oh, come on.
Yeah, Vince taught Shane how to punch too, yeah.
Maybe he got in good shape and trained, but he doesn't have enough confidence to fight square.
Vince, the master of fisticuffs.
Match up here. Oh, my. Referee has spent more time trying to get these fighters to break it up now. Bell has ended. Bell has ended, and these two are still going at it. Seconds in there trying to
Uh-oh, Joe's in there.
Smoking Joe Frazier and Jim Conley.
Oh, there's Cowboy.
All right, finally now we'll have some order.
Now we've got the guys back in their respective corners after, I guess, what, just one round here.
Fighters pretty much feeling each other out.
Look at that thing he's using to pour juice in, Mr. T. That's like a bar storm pour. That's what you'd find in any bar where they keep their cranberry juices and shit in. Yeah, you can't go talk shit in the other corner, can you? You can't do that in boxing, can you?
Not taking advantage of the 1-minute rest period. I wonder if that will tell him next round.
You better take advantage of these sit-downs here.
I would not want to be a corner man and have to take in and out the mouth guard and wipe their face off and their blood off and their spit and sweat. Ugh. No thanks.
What'd you get the first round to?
Well, I think Roddy made the most moves, but I think T was the smarter fighter.
Here, when there's so much, it's like there's a lot of that salve and whatever. A great big gob of it on the face.
Breaking gob of it.
Piper, a great big.
It was that's kind of like Vaseline just to make like the punches slide off. Is that why they put that on their faces? Oh, he's got a bunch of it in his hair.
Well, sure, that makes the gloves slide right off, right? That's a
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Susan.
Mr. T will take advantage of every opportunity.
Fucking Roddy Piper's got the something about Mary jizz glob in his hair. He just needs to go like that.
Piper getting off.
he's pulled his punches up there. Going for the head more.
Piper.
Come on, T. There you go.
T fighting back. Piper has him against the rope. Spins him around. Ooh, my.
Hit him with a superplex. Superplex.
And again, the official having some difficulty. Okay, now Roddy wants him to come straight in.
Oof.
Hand it to Roddy, boy. He's up for this. Look at that.
It really is. He's been throwing a ladder, Mr. Piper has. Ooh, my. Piper has him bent over. Mr. T's in trouble. Mr. T's in. T fighting back. Going upstairs, downstairs, and Roddy Piper now. Continuing. Ooh, with a right hand by Piper.
Come on, T.
Ha. Conquistadors, I want to say they came in late 87, early 88, somewhere around there.
T is caught in a corner there, and he's not going in.
I'm not even sure if they came in. They might have been. I forgot who played them. They might have just been two agents or two wrestlers on the roster they threw masks on. I don't recall. Actually, I don't think that's true. Oh, Mr. T got knocked down.
Come on, T.
Referee trying to get Piper
Come on, Roddy. Get out of there. Come on, T. Pull
T, you got to get up.
Up you go. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Up.
Now 3, and then 4. Mr. T was hurt and hurt badly by Roddy
Get up, T. There, he's up.
Are you all right, T? Are you all right? Where are you? Okay, let's go. Back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your grandfather there, T85. Old school wrestling fan. I bet he was.
You can hold on for those 16 seconds.
Rest in peace, Grandpa 85.
Piper has him against the rope, and again, series of rights and lefts. Piper connecting, missing with a left.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Mr. T is down. Wait, count. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, Roddy. What does he do that for? He's winning it fair and square.
I know, right? Yeah, he's got two. I don't recall the Mr. T double knockdowns here.
At the end of that round, and they have him back over now on the stool.
Come on, T. You can't let this guy beat you.
I tell you, I'm sort of
Drink some of this cranberry juice.
I am too. T going down after a series of right hands. Piper was winding up.
his knees were just going.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, Piper, look, they're throwing water on him now? What in the hell?
Apparently, throwing water over in the corner.
What's the matter with those guys? They should take a break. Come on, T.
All right, now, Roddy Piper must feel very, very good.
Uh-oh, the alley shot.
Yeah, Piper's feeling good. Now he's got two knockdowns.
Very, very cocky after having knocked Mr. T down in the second round.
I'm baffled. Come on, T. All right, T.
Moving back in.
All right. That's away. Come on, work on his body a little. Tire his arms. Oh, lifting him up. Lifting him up. Uh-oh.
T fighting right back.
Whoa.
Lefts and rights. I think T scores a knockdown on Piper, too, at some point.
Lots of body shots. Come on, take it.
Look at this. Piper is down in the corner.
Thank you for the 20, Ryan Adams.
T leading right. Oh,
Oh, there we go. Got a weak punches there, though.
T looks arm weary, but nonetheless, he had enough to knock
Is that the end of the round or no? No. Piper's down, though.
an unlikely sight. Roddy Piper.
Ryan, appreciate that 20 drop, man. Raw looking decent tomorrow. Cody, Cena segment, Seth segment, Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile, Penta versus Ludwig, No Holds Barred, and Bianca EO contract signing. Oh, yeah, Rhea could maybe pull an HBK and sign the contract herself. Yeah, something like that's going to happen. We'll be here to review it tomorrow night.
Let him box some more. T moving out here, caught him with a right hand. Piper, look at this. Piper wide open now. He's catching punches from T.
Well, these guys have a new respect for professional boxers. How tired they get when they're pounded like that.
Indeed, T now with Piper in trouble.
Come on, T.
Pushes him to the corner.
Boom. There. Oh, there. Glancing blow, but he took Piper down.
Right out of the way.
Tch. Look at Orton squeezing water out of a sponge onto his head.
T a moment ago, and now
Here he comes.
More water.
to get Piper back into the ring. Piper has been knocked down twice.
Colin, these are the days when the cornerman would cut the boxer's eye open to see, yeah, like Rocky.
Well, it says he can do it.
Referee's gonna again. Piper is almost out on his feet. One more time he goes down. The fight is over. T has about 25 seconds now to get him down.
What Rocky movie did he cut? Was it like 1 or 2? I think it was 1 or 2, right? I don't think it was 4. It might have been 4. Might have been 3. Might have been 5. I don't know. I have no idea. Definitely wasn't 5.
You can see Piper holding on.
All right. Another round done.
And they're bringing Mr. T back and also Roddy Piper.
Mr. T looks very tired.
Now, this is where we have to be careful because this is when Rowdy could get desperate and do something pretty unsavory.
Oh, Roddy. Oh, who's this? With the big gold glove. Easy, Vince.
We didn't see him earlier because of the action, I'm sure. But now look at T.
Look at T over there.
Of Roddy Piper.
I think T's feeling a little better now. That last round gave him some pep.
Gave him a great deal.
Michael, thanks for 2. We got this instead of Piper versus Hogan. Yeah, Piper versus Hogan one-on-one would have been fine. But they that was all the previous year. If anything, Piper versus Hogan should have been the main event at WrestleMania 1. Oh, that fucking stool, man. That always bugged me the way he threw that. Like, that had to fucking hurt.
Look at this now. Beginning of round 4.
I told you.
Ooh, and a right hand by Piper. There
Just gonna exchange blows.
Ooh, another one. T is back up.
Oh, knocked his mouth. He almost knocked his mouth. Uh-oh.
Both fighters so armory that Piper is firing off. T also with a right hand.
I gotta hand it to Mr. T, though. Like, he's doing an excellent job of being safe. I think Piper's been a little more wild with his throws. But T, like, he seems to understand that he's working here. Like, if he wanted to take Piper's head off, I'm sure he could. Damn, it's not how you really punch in a boxing match. He knocked his mouth guard out. I mean, so they're making contact, but
Piper's mouth face out.
Well, how much of this can they take, Vince? This is vicious.
A brutal fight. Both men so arm weary. But moving in now. Referee trying to get between them now. Bring him back out.
oh, down goes. Oh, Jesus. The body slam was just so funny. The body slam was just so funny. You know, I've been releasing those shorts like one WrestleMania a day, and I'm just like talking about my memories of these specific manias. I'm not like running through the whole card, just highlights, memories, that type of thing. And I did the WrestleMania 2 one, and somebody was like, "I'm surprised you didn't mention the boxing match." I'm like, "Why didn't I?" And I just posted, so I just deleted it, went and recorded another 20 seconds, and stuck it in there so I could talk about the boxing match. I'm like, "Why did I leave that one out?" There's going to be plenty of matches I'm going to leave out and not talk about, but at least the ones that are memorable I want to at least mention. But I was like, why did I do that? Why did I leave that match out? Why did I forget? Is that young Tony Chimmel? Check him. Black t-shirt. See him? Wow, he's been there that long. Young, skinny Tony Chimmel in there.
Decision as a result of a disqualification
Mark Eaton.
to Mr. T.
I think I see Mel Phillips. I see Mel Phillips, Mark Eaton, Tony Chimmel, all in there, along with Joey Morella. I'm not sure who else.
He asked for it. It's about time the referees gave him what he deserved.
So finally, Piper disqualified, but it took him. Had to go back down.
Thanks for 5 more, Ryan. Out of all the current WWE champions, only 3 were born before the show. Eric, Ivar, and Cody. Ivar was 2, Eric was 1, Cody was 9 months old.
And automatically resorted to his wrestling skills.
I have to give him credit for the first 2 rounds. I was really impressed with his skills. He got in good shape, and if he hadn't have gotten so desperate at the end, he might have been able to pull it out.
Could very well have pulled it out there, but in the end, nonetheless, it'll go down as a
Yeah, victory for T.
standing by.
So Mr. T is undefeated at WrestleMania, correct? So it's only him?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the beautiful Rosemont
Rosemont
Horizon.
Horizon. There's Gorilla. So Gorilla and Jesse are not together.
At this time to introduce a dear friend of mine whose name is synonymous with
Yeah, it's going to be Gene.
the one and only Mean Gene Okerlund.
Thank you very much. Good
I believe that's Velvet McIntyre in the ring there,
We work up to this gigantic battle royal. 20 men in the ring, including 6
who was the champion going into the WrestleMania 1. She lost to Richter. She's back here. I think she takes on Moolah, I think.
football versus wrestling.
Unbelievable, unreal situation here at the Rosemont, and right now it is my very dear pleasure to introduce to you a very, very special person who will be sitting with me doing color.
Okay, so Gene won't be.
Very beautiful, talented actress Kathy Lee Crosby.
Kathy Lee Crosby. I don't know who you are either. Look at you. Damn, she's got a nice little outfit on there.
World of professional wrestling. It's tremendous to have you here. We have plenty of excitement and action personified
Kathy Lee Crosby. All right. If you ever want to know what the 80s are like, just look at Kathy Lee Crosby. That's what they were like. Oh, yeah, there's Moolah in there.
Thank you very much, Gorilla Monsoon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rosemont Horizon.
Oh, yeah, Chet Kopic. WWE always loved this guy for some reason. I don't know why. Radio DJ or something, right? Or had like a sports show, maybe? He would sometimes have WWF wrestlers on it.
County, Ireland. She weighs 144 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, Velvet McIntyre.
Velvet. Jeez, look at that hair. That's called Camaro hair. Or Trans Am hair. Hair like that belongs in the passenger seat of a Trans Am with the windows open and the top down.
She is the World Wrestling Federation champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous
I like that they called her the World Wrestling Federation champion, not the ladies champion.
60 minutes.
Does she still have the, back in the old days, Moolah used to have the picture of herself in the middle of the belt. God, look at her. She looks like a grandma. Moolah is so hideously unattractive. And she's also a piece of shit.
Right off the bat, a handful of hair as Velvet McIntyre gets rammed time and time again.
I mean, these women's matches were hard hitting back in the day.
Look out, Velvet in for the ride. Holy mackerel.
Like, Moolah could make a strap-on go limp. She is horrendous looking.
I am impressed. I have never seen anything like this in my life.
Beautiful one-footed drop.
Yeah, nice drop piece by Velvet.
Moolah is stunned right off the bat.
So far, this is the most action we've seen.
Part of WrestleMania 2.
They are moving.
Look out. Big slam.
Remember we talked about the women's body slams last week, how they go for it in suplex position? And Velvet misses. Oh, almost a wardrobe malfunction. Oh, right on top of her. That's it.
This one, fabulous Moolah. Over for the count. 1, 2,
Her foot was on the rope.
It's all over. You gotta be kidding me.
and possibly a
And she stomps her on the way out. Moolah, what a piece of shit.
That's unbelievable.
only a couple of minutes at the most.
I just don't like Moolah. I never have.
WrestleMania 2 and Women's World Champion, fabulous Moolah, obviously retaining her title.
Does she normally come out that fast?
Absolutely not. This is a big upset. Let's go to ring announcer.
No, that's not Kathy from Kathy and Regis. That Kathy's Kathy Lee Gifford.
Moolah victorious here in the Rosemont Horizon. Could be in record time as well. Just unbelievable situation here in the Horizon right off the bat. The fabulous Moolah chalking up a quick victory, but plenty more action still to come, Jim.
Look at these kind of makeshift commentary tables just with a crude announce team. Like, I like it.
With 2 referees.
And it's about time. You know the reasons for that.
Absolutely so. And of course, everyone knows that fantastic 20-man over-the-top open invitational battle royal.
I'm very curious. Kathy Lee Crosby. Kathy Lee,
I've never heard this crowd. This is unbelievable.
you've been aligned with a football player or two. Speculate on the chances of the football players tonight in the Battle Royal.
You know what? I picked the football players originally, but having seen the wrestlers in person,
She looks like she should be like a soap opera actress or something. Like, she looks like that's the way they all looked back in the 80s. She's pretty. I don't know who she is, though.
It certainly won't take long to find out whether they do or not, because
Ryan, thanks for 5 more. I lied about LA and forgot LA. I lied. I forgot LA won the U.S. Oh, LA night. Yeah. I was like, LA, a city won the title? So he's part of that group. He's the oldest, born in 82. And if you count the speed title, Candice is born in 85, huh? So Candice LeRae is 40? How is Candice LeRae 40? Maybe she is. Didn't she just have a kid? Damn, she's 39. Holy shit. Seems younger to me. So this is just Nikolai. I want to try to remember because I don't remember. Who does Nikolai face here?
ladies and gentlemen, Nikolai Volkoff,
It's got to be Corporal Kirchner.
and you all stand
It's got to be Corporal Kirchner.
and remain silent.
Corporal Kirchner was the very first LJN figure I ever had. Oh, I still know the anthem. Mike. The key question is, you think Susan St. James saw the grapefruits after the show? I'd like to think no, but she might have seen something. That's for sure. Spawn, what's Steamboat's Mania record? Well, I can probably think of it in my head. He wins at 1, wins at 2, wins at 3, loses at 4. And then what happened in that WrestleMania 25 match? Did he win or lose that match with Jericho? Did Jericho win that? So he's either 4 and 1 or 3 and 2. Oh yeah, it is Corporal Kirchner. I'm surprised he didn't become like a buddy, like a sidekick of Hogan, the way Hillbilly did, the way Orndorff kind of did, Duggan, Tugboat, Savage. Hogan's had some sidekicks. I'll be right back. Interesting music for Kirchner here. Jericho won 3 and 2. Okay. Soviet versus apartheid. Ugh. Nikolai with that back heel kick. I believe Sheik. Where the hell was Sheik? Sheik, I think, was in the Battle Royal. But Blassie is still with these guys, so. Damn, Kirchner getting worn out. Corporal Kirchner looks like the type of guy that wakes up and has a cigarette first thing in the morning. And then goes out in the backyard to feed the chickens, you know, that type of guy. He's one of them. Look at Blassie taunting the Corporal. We are in Chicago now, by the way. We have moved away from New York. No more Susan St. James. It's now Gorilla and Gene. And some other girl. Look at Corporal. Look at these haymakers. Nikolai always bumped funny. He'd almost... Oh, no. Yeah, Corporal got busted open on the outside, but Nikolai, when he would bump, he would kind of roll. Almost like an Eddie roll. Davey would bump funny, too. Look out. Oh, right on... Oh, he's going to win? I did not know Corporal Kirchner beat Nikolai. And I'm surprised that he was allowed to throw the referee down and not get disqualified. Yeah, at least Kirchner served, right? Slaughter did not. Oh, was this like a flag match or something? He gets to display the colors? Patriotism is a weird thing that I live blissfully without. I will never get caught up in anthems and that shit. I could give a fuck less. None of that has any effect on my emotions whatsoever. None. Although I do respect and love everybody who serves our country and fights for our freedom, including my father, my grandparents, or my grandfathers, my dad, a lot of my friends, a bunch of my good friends, friends of the channel. I will forever respect your service. I'm just not going to cry when the national anthem comes on, that's all. I love this slow-mo and the music with Kirchner just kind of celebrating. It's so cute. WrestleMania 2. I'm so glad we got to this one. What took us so long? This is funnier than I thought it would be.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Chicago portion of our main event. And with that in mind, we welcome to ringside a great Chicago favorite, a great television star in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one Mean Gene.
Okay, so are they doing the Battle Royal now? I was thinking that Bulldogs and what's their dicks were here, but it wasn't. Must be on the LA show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 20-man over-the-top rope Battle Royal. Here are the rules.
Yeah, give us the rules, Gene, because we're not sure how Battle Royals work. They're very confusing. Oh, over the top rope. Okay, I thought you had to dig a hole through the mat and escape under the ring. Over the top. Now it makes sense. Okay, thank you, Gene. Oh no, it's here. It's in Chicago. When what's his face said the main event, I was thinking this was the main event, but the Bulldogs and Dream Team are next. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, there's 4 matches on each show. Or on each Oh, we didn't even hear her say it. That's the Where's the Beef lady. That was a big deal in the 80s. Where's the beef? I think there was a Wendy's commercial. Here comes Dick Buttkiss. Easily the greatest name in sports history, Dick Buttkiss. Close second might have to be Coco Crisp, but Dick Buttkiss, there's no better. Coco Crisp, also very solid. Yeah, the Where's the Beef lady was a big deal, man. Ed Too Tall Jones. They call him Too Tall because he's very, 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 very tall.
From the Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears, weighing 275 pounds.
They had just won the Super Bowl 2 months ago. Less than that, probably. Was that Tolbert? Jimbo Covert. I thought it was a Tolbert. It was Jimbo Covert. Pedro. Bruno's in this thing, too. We got Bruno and Pedro. Pedro was the first ever Grand Slam champion.
250 pounds, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Or Triple Crown. Maybe that's what they called it back then. Grand Slam didn't come around until the European title. To have the terminology right.
285 pounds, strongest man in the world,
Ted Arcidi.
From the Dallas Cowboys,
I hope Pez Watley's in this.
260 pounds, one of the greatest defensemen ever to play pro football,
Harvey
Harvey Martin.
Martin. Pretty cool name.
Florida, weighing 268 pounds, Golden Boy.
Danny Spivey. Looks like Stunning Steve coming down, doesn't he? That's Waylon Mercy.
Weighing 286 pounds, Hillbilly Jim.
Check out the chains. You guys see the chains attaching the turnbuckle to the posts? I've never seen that before.
Weighing 273 pounds,
King
King Tonga.
Tonga. King Tonga. He would be originally introduced as King Tonga at WrestleMania 5 as well. When Howard fucked up. There's the Sheik.
The Iron Sheik.
Harry Colin. Oh, man, Mike.
Weighing 280 pounds, a former member of the fabled Steel Curtain,
Holy shit.
Holmes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Jim Brown. I'm like, what? Ernie Holmes. He looked like Jim Brown. I'm like, what? Jim Brown isn't in this.
At a total combined weight,
That's what I thought it was.
68 pounds,
Look at the bees.
Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.
Jumpin' Jim and B. Brian.
weighing in at 364 pounds, Big John Studd.
Here comes Stud. Here's an interesting tidbit. In all 3 of John Studd's matches at WrestleMania, he was in there with Andre the Giant. WrestleMania 1, 2, and 5. Because he was the special referee in the Andre and Steak match. So every time Stud was at WrestleMania, he was in the ring with Andre the Giant. I mean, technically, you can tell people that Bret the Hitman Hart and Bruno Sammartino had a WrestleMania match together. Because they did. They're both in this match.
Of 514 pounds, members of the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Jim the Anvil Knight.
Look at them. Look at them. The blue, the baby blue.
From the San Francisco 49ers, weighing in at 242 pounds, tonight he walks in the shoes of his legendary father, Sir Edmund Francis, the outstanding tight end and 3-time Pro Bowl selection, Russ Francis.
Russ Francis. Look at that little jacket he's got on.
From the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 245 pounds, professional wrestling's only living legend,
Yeah, look at Bruno.
San Martino.
He should have came out last. Look at Bruno, still in good shape. It's wild that Bruno wrestled at WrestleMania, but he did.
Weighing 304 pounds, the one, the only, the refrigerator, William Perry.
Damn. Jumping in. It's crazy. The NFL or the teams let the players do this. It's got to be hard to do a battle royal when half the guys in there don't know how to work.
France and the French Alps, weighing 520 pounds, the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
It's one of the last times we'd see Andre in that, like, in the just the plain trunks, because then later on in the year he'd like get suspended and he'd come back as one of the machines, and then by then 86 wrapped up and they started moving into the Hogan program for WrestleMania 3.
Making his way down to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now in our announce position, one of my dearest friends and one of the all-time greats in the NFL, especially with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look at that ring, man.
All-time tremendous superstar in the world of professional wrestling, the one and only, the Cat Ernie Ladd. Welcome,
We got Ernie Ladd on commentary. I love that. Not many voices are quite like Ernie Ladd's voice. I mean, what's the total combined weight in here? I mean, Stud and Andre are like 1,000 alone. They're like 1,000 pounds alone.
612 pounds, Captain Lee, how about it?
Oh, I think Gorilla just told us how heavy. And I missed it. I just heard the 612 part. I mean, let me see. If there's 20 guys in there, on average, probably 4 guys will make up 1,000 pounds. So it's got to be 5,600 pounds. That's probably what it is.
Reach the arena floor. If you go over the top rope and land on the apron, you're still eligible to get back in there. Bernie, give us both sides, the professional football and the professional wrestling side of this. As long as I played pro football, I know. Oh, look out!
2 guys out just right away. Haku and somebody. King Tonga. Look at Ditka and Too Tall.
Well, being on both sides of the fence, Gorilla Monsoon, I enjoyed football. The most dangerous part of it is wrestling. An individual sport, all you can say, you've been beat by the best man when you get beat as a professional wrestler.
Look at that. Big John Studd has got the refrigerator.
I can't even see. Oh, he's right there.
I don't think there's strategy here, do you, Gorilla? I think
I mean, Tony Atlas might be the strongest one of all of them. Jesus Christ.
Exceptionally good tag teams in there, and the Killer Bees and the Hart Foundation, they are definitely using teamwork.
No one wants the Andre the Giant. Look at that big giant.
What's his face is going. I think that's Russ Francis in the with the wife beater tucked into his black short trunks. That's a look. That's a choice. He is going at it with Andre. Oh man. The guy who I thought was Jim Brown just got eliminated. There's Andre. I loved when he would punch, when Andre would throw punches or deliver chops, because he would always go. It's like the Andre grunt. When I would play with my figurines, I would make the grunt when Andre would punch. I'd go, ugh! I swear to God. Hey, I was right. I had to guess. I only heard the 612, so I had to guess how many thousands it was, and I was right, 5,000. Yeah, the ring has got to be able to hold 5,000 pounds of extremely uneven distributed weight. So... Andre fighting off everybody. Harvey Martin. Yeah, Fridge has got 2 different colored boots on. Andre's got a great tan. I don't know where someone like Andre gets tanned in 1986. Like, look at him. He's out on the beach. His back, his front. There ain't no way there's a tanning bed big enough for him. And really, spray tan really wasn't a thing back then. There goes Tony Atlas and Harvey Marvin, or whatever. Bye, Harvey Marvin. Dan Spivey and Sheik battling it out. Arcidi's got, I think, B. Brian Blair up, but Bruno's coming in to stop that. These are some interesting... Mike, your first LGN figure was Ted Arcidi. That's crazy. Butt kiss is a class. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think you already said that. Harry Colon. Or Harry Colon. I didn't know he played for the Lions. Ooh. Spivey's gone. Hillbilly and one of the bees are gone. Bruno's got Brett. Bruno's working with Brett right now. That's fun. Bruno and Andre in there together is wild. There goes Freilich. Sheik's gone at the hands of Bruno, who's now taking it to Stud. Look at Bruno go. His dipshit son wrestled in the first WrestleMania. Damn. Hey, who chucked out Bruno? Big John Studd did. Okay. Yeah, the old studio wrestling days were awesome. Oh, and there he takes out Stud. Oh, and he eliminates him too. Perry gets eliminated. How did a fan fall over the railing? Damn, he teared his shirt all up and stuff. I want to be friends. And he pulls him over. Sore loser. It's like Hogan at the Royal Rumble in '92. And we're down to fucking Francis and the Hart Foundation and Andre. Andre with the chops.
Oh, look at this now. It's Andre, Russ Francis, and the Hart Foundation, the Anvil and the Hitman. Andre the Giant, the winner of more battle royals than anyone in the history of professional wrestling.
Oh, God.
Well, Russ Francis with that wrestling ability, honey.
Prime Bruno versus Prime Hogan in the Garden. In the Garden, Bruno. Anywhere else, Hogan. Not even Hogan was as over as Bruno in the Garden. And there goes Francis. Oh, and he got clothesline too. They're not used to. Oh shit! Rang his bell.
Andre the Giant has seen this situation before, honey.
Another interesting fun fact: Bret Hart is a two-time runner-up in the Battle Royal. The first two WrestleMania Battle Royals, Bret was the runner-up in both, because I'm pretty sure Anvil goes out first here.
Shoots the Anvil. Wow, what a tackle. Former football player as well. Look at Andre. They each got a leg. Oh, he kicked them both off.
Yes, this is Bret's first Mania. Oh, Bret just ate that boot. Look at Jim. Oh, shit.
And stuck it right in the kisser. He's got it right by the goatee. You're right, Kathy Lee. Andre the Giant going to work. Double knock.
Ugh. Now Andre's just abusing the Hearts here.
Andre the Giant doing a number right now on the Hart Foundation, but don't forget it's still 2 against 1. The Anvil shot in. Oh, the big boot.
Psh.
And the Anvil up.
Neidhart just eliminates himself. And here's Bret now on the top rope. Andre's got him. Yeah, goodbye, Hitman. Anybody want a peanut? There he is. He's out. Runner-up in 2 Battle Royals.
Andre the Giant, the winner here in this tremendous, unbelievable 20 to man over the top invitational battle royal. If I had to pick a winner beforehand, that's the guy I would have picked.
Mike's got 5. I think of this as the last match Andre looked big but not unhealthy. 3, he looked so not in good shape. I think the singlet helped though. He feels more hunched over here. Like I feel like he was standing up straight. But he still needed surgery. He definitely had like a, what are those things called that you like the Home Depot guys wear or whatever? Like he had something like that around his waist at WrestleMania 3, you could tell. That was straightening his back out a little bit. But he, just in general, he's just, he's nearing the end of his life. You know, here he's only going to be alive for 7 more years, something like that.
All right, Gorilla, thank you very much. We have here Roddy Piper, and I must say your conduct was
Oh, I like that we're kicking back to
as far as an athlete.
New York.
See, I didn't understand, obviously. I didn't, if I wanted to come for a picnic tea, I would have packed a lunch. I come to fight, and just as I'm getting into the fighting, you have
Piper is so fucking funny. He was so great.
because you both cheat. I saw Barry pulling John Studd over like that. I saw T rubbing his head, rubbing them gnarly bristles inside my eyes, but nothing he could do could hurt me. There's nothing I said. If he could knock me out, I will retire. I have fight after fight after fight left, and I don't have to cut my hair like an Indian, and I don't have to dye myself black. And I saw you.
What is it with you and the dyeing yourself black?
Nice little kill. Joe
Is he saying that Mr. T is doing blackface and he's some white boy? Is that what Piper's implying here? Because I doubt that.
I don't know, Roddy. That's like a bunch of blarney to me.
That's a bunch of blarney, Piper. So what, Mr. T, what's his name? Kerwin White, and he's just, is it like the Eddie Murphy SNL skit where he paints himself white and everybody treats him right, treats him nice?
You were losing the matchup. You were losing the fight. Look at
It's nice to meet you, Mr. White.
I wasn't losing nothing. He kept sticking his nose in my business.
Hey, Tito, what's up, buddy? Tito, are you ready? You've got a big tag team match coming up later on against Terry and Haas Funk. Can you handle JYD as your opponent? Or, I mean, sorry, is your tag team partner? Come here. No, no JYD. You'd rather have Dad? Yeah, I don't blame you. Looks like it's going to be Tito and me up against Terry and Dory later on. Hey, buddy. Come here. Come here.
Irascible Roddy Piper. Let's take you now, ladies and gentlemen, back to Chicago and Mean Gene Okerlund.
What was that the Piper just did at the end there? Yo, dude. Tito's deciding to take a nap right where my monitor goes and my webcam. Come on, we're not gonna do that. Over here. There you go, buddy. Ugh. Ugh. Say hello. This is him. He's making a whole bunch of noise. How you doing? Say hi. This is your, like one of your first times being on camera. He doesn't look happy, but I swear he is. Aren't you? Okay. Get out of here. Gene Mean. Get Gene Mean. Got coming around. Got the poor. Number one. Don't chant the USA, USA. All right, here comes our main event. Tag team title match. Ozzy is at ringside for this, which is awesome. Juliet, yeah. Hey, I agree. Wife beater is a wild name for a shirt, but I'm not the one who named him that, so. Deposit him. No, we're talking about the old studio wrestling days. My grandparents, when I would go visit them when I was a kid, they had neighbors that had something to do with pro wrestling because when I would have my figurines, they would come over to the house and they would educate me. I remember the one, I wish I could remember more about it, but he was, like he had my Nikolai Volkoff figure and he like told me the whole history of Nikolai and a couple of other wrestlers, and they used to live in Minneapolis and had some sort of affiliation with the AWA. And because I think he worked in like the news station there or something like that. And they were just the other kids would call him uncle, but they lived right across the street from my grandparents, or next door, not across the street, to my grandparents. And they would just always walk over and say hello in the yard and stuff. And when I was a little kid, so you're a wrestling fan, huh? And they're like, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, yeah, it's Nikolai Volkoff. I'm like, oh no. And he just give me a whole rundown. And so I wish I was older and I wish I could go back in time and talk to those people again, because they knew all about wrestling. But I was so young and new into it, I wasn't fascinated by that. I wasn't fascinated that they knew about wrestling. I was just like, oh yeah, cool, you know. Look at this little ass referee. Is that Abe Vigoda? Luscious. I don't know. Does he look luscious to y'all? Maybe to Juliet. What do you think, Juliet? Is he luscious? I think that is Abe Vigoda. Valentine.
His partner from San Francisco, California.
Beefer.
273 pounds. Brutus Beefcake.
I hated the Dream Team as a kid. I hated them as champs. I loved the Bulldogs. I was very happy when they were tag champs.
Here they come with Ozzy Osbourne in the back. That looks like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Tito cameo. Now he's kind of on camera here. I can kind of make him visible under the boom arm there. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Tito. There he is. I love that Ozzy's with him and Captain Lou. One fall, 60 minutes.
From being British himself, what is Ozzy Osbourne going to do for the British Bulldogs?
Nice. I'm glad we got some other people with some pets. Foxstar, you got Chloe?
Is that not where Lord Alfred is from?
That was my first cat's name. She died 6 months before I moved here. It was very, 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 very sad. I inherited her from my ex. It was her cat, but she became mine. And she died at only 12 years old. She died young like Bub. It was really sad. She was a good girl. But then I found, if she wouldn't have died, I would have never had Bub. So,
I think a very interesting point also, Captain,
just the way life works.
is that two referees, one inside the
Because if she wouldn't have died, we would have brought her here with us. And then we wouldn't have had a need to get a cat because we had one. So, I'm really happy that I was able to get Bub.
outside the ring. When you've got the likes of the luscious John Valiant, the manager,
She needed to die so Bub could live because they definitely would have put him down if I wouldn't have adopted him.
absolutely.
All right, Bulldogs.
Here in WrestleMania 2, referee
When I was a kid, I liked the Bulldogs. They had already been on TV for a while. They had a lot of matches with the Hearts early, before either of them were tag team champions, and those were so fun to watch because they were the closest matches you would find to, some of the Dynamite Brett Stampede stuff. And I always thought that was really cool, but I didn't really, as a kid, super fall in love with the Bulldogs until they were champs. From the time they won the titles all the way up until they dropped them, I was a big Bulldogs fan. I was so pissed because I watched that day when the Hearts beat them for the tag titles with Danny Davis screwing them over. And it ruined my day. I was mad all week about it.
powerhouse for that team, the British Bulldogs, and he's shown you that power.
Not something a kid wants to see on Saturday morning.
A bit surprised,
Trying to have a good day here.
but they know what to expect from the British Bulldogs, and vice versa. The Bulldogs know what to expect from the champions.
The finish of this match is something I always remember because Dynamite takes just an unbelievable bump off the top rope. He kind of falls off camera, but you can kind of just tell how he falls that he did not land well.
They certainly have. The champions, of course, are always number one, and the British Bulldogs, the number one challenging team. Look out, nice hip lock, right a hammer, right off the ropes. And he drops
Misses.
but Davey Boy Smith not anywhere in sight. There
Hammer defended the IC at WrestleMania 1. He's defending the tags here. Next year at WrestleMania 3, he would split from Beefcake when they brought in Dino Bravo. They would beat the Rougeaus or something, and then they would leave Beefcake all by himself in the ring, and then later on that night he would become the Barber.
Quick over the top goes Dynamite. He was moving 100 miles an hour. And the hammer gets an education right quick as to the speed and agility of the British Bulldogs. Look out. What a tremendous snap suplex by the Dynamite Kid. And he makes another tag as Davey Boy steps in. Yet to get involved in this match. Brutus Beefcake. Look out. Another suplex coming up. Oh, nice block by Valentine. Beautiful counter. The leg in there. Yet another counter. Valentine's going to try to get one of his own here. Yes. Oh, he couldn't get him up in that vertical position. But Davey Boy does.
Davey's got that big one. Jeez.
Imagine the impact. 2 count. No, he couldn't get it. Valentine in there maybe longer than he should be, Gene.
Garrett, thanks for the $5. That's your first super chat. Holy shit. Bulldogs break a promise of saying they'll immigrate to the United States after winning the tag titles. And they still get cheered. I didn't realize they said that. And then they lied. A bunch of lying Bulldogs.
Captain Lou challenging Luscious Johnny, but that's not going to happen. But very, very clever maneuver by the ring veteran Greg the Hammer Valentine as he sees an opportunity to step out here and break the momentum of Davey Boy Smith. He's right near his
I mean, Davey was super young here, too.
Should have done it. I can't believe that Johnny Valiant would have advised him to do so.
Me neither. Not with his experience. Oh, forearm, beautiful forearm uppercuts as only the Hammer can deliver. Look out now. Davey Boy reverses it and hard into the turnbuckle.
Ooh, I don't know what was going on there. No.
He caught him sleeping. Ouch. quick the tide can turn in the world of professional wrestling. There's the tag.
Beefcake.
Fresh Brutus Beefcake stepping in.
Now it could be just the opposite. Davey Boy Smith perhaps in there a little longer than he should have
I don't remember. Did he beat David Sammartino at WrestleMania 1 or did he lose to him? Might have been a DQ. I don't remember the finish of that anymore. I used to be able to tell you. I don't remember.
been. Teamwork, Kathy Lee.
Matthew Lee is astounded.
I am stunned.
Oh, look at this press slam. Wow.
Now that's incredible.
Power move.
More than incredible. Here we are again.
Quick tag made there as the Dynamite Kid steps in. Look out. Beeper in for the ride.
Beefer.
Clothesline. And Dynamite with a reverse knife edge sends him down. A little premature for that cover. Look at small package ties him up both ways. Now, Brutus still fresh enough to be able to kick out of there.
Dynamite is so fun.
Gonna do it. Watch this superb teamwork on the part of the Bulldogs. They are good.
Davey Boy Smith back in there, the powerhouse on his team. Suplex perhaps coming up. Oh no, it's a cradle.
Ooh, perfect plex. He didn't lock the fingers, though.
What about that bridge?
Gotta lock them fingers.
For another part of Brutus to get out of there. And he needs it back into his corner and make a tag to the hammer. They want to survive here.
The Bulldogs are really showing teamwork. I'm really impressed with that.
They have tremendous continuity. They certainly do. That's one of their biggest fortes. Captain Lou shouting instructions in.
Now Beefcake
There it is.
finally gets a tag off to
Look
Valentine.
at this. The hammer going up to the top rope.
Oh,
Then he unload one on Davey Boy Smith, right on the back of the neck. Now he's setting him up. He'll get him up this time, no question. He's got him stunned. Yes.
Ugh.
Suplex by the hammer. Over for the cover, no.
Pretty fair country suplex on the part of Break the Hammer Valentine himself.
Greg the Hammer can do it all, Gene. Got the experience, the stamina.
Huh. Oh yeah, Davey and Warlord. They were just too jacked up. They're too roided up.
Swallow Johnny Valentine didn't never take a backseat to anybody.
Oh, if Kathy Lee was maybe a little too young for the likes of Johnny Valentine or not, but he was.
Zach, yeah, I think they've kind of announced. They've kind of done a transition. Like they're switching venues.
Live. I grew up in wrestling. With wrestling, my grandfather used to watch it, and he used to remind me that gorgeous George. And tell me all about great stories.
Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George shout out.
Back and forth now as the Dynamite Kid and the Hammer slugging it out. And Dynamite's taking the upper hand. Oh, look at that forearm uppercut.
All right.
Tremendous shoulder blocks being applied here by the Dynamite Kid in the corner, and the Hammer goes down.
Wow, Harry was not even a year old by when this show aired. That's crazy. I mean, it's 40 years ago. It's a 40-year anniversary of this show. What was the date on WrestleMania 2? Let's look that up. How close are we to the anniversary here? Oh, April 7th. Oh, wow. That's pretty late. So almost the 40-year anniversary. So Kathy Lee Crosby, for those somebody just asked, just Smitty, she's the woman commentator. She's 80 years old now, born in 1944, still alive. And all I know about her is she's a former actress and tennis player. She dated Richard Roundtree and Joe Theismann. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking this was 85. Yeah, shit, We Are Pro Wrestling. I'm trying to jump years. And I'm pretty sure I know the date on WrestleMania 1. That was in March. That was like 31st or something. Yeah, March 31st. So coming up on the 40-year anniversary of WrestleMania 1, not WrestleMania 2. I think I thought it was 2026 right now. What? Have you ever seen that? That's a tombstone pile driver, but with the face the wrong way. That's the opposite of what Owen Hart did to Stone Cold. The exact opposite.
Lou moving around, Gene, all the time.
Dynamite Kid has got to get back on his feet and get a tag.
He picked the arm up, but not the shoulder that time. Oh, he caught Valentine.
Caught Valentine in the... Look at the referee. Letting him know. I love that Ozzy is into it. In his women's suit that he's wearing. His ladies' business suit.
Rick the Hammer, obviously in a lot of trouble, but he's out there going up, all the way up to the top. He gets caught by Dynamite. What a slam. 3/4 of the way across the
All these wrestlers have very similar tans. They must have gone somewhere to the beach or something.
He does come in, but Davey Boy comes in and beats him as well, and now all four men may have broken loose here.
Jeez.
Look out. Press slam. We've seen this before.
Oh, wow. Valentine got out of the way. He was going to press slam headbutt him, I think.
The way. And the Dynamite Kid right after him. He wants him inside. Oh, did he get there? Where's the
Where's the beefer?
beefer? Beefcake back in his corner once again. And the Hammer lowered the boom on the Dynamite Kid, but the tag made. As Davey Boy
Wow.
comes in there,
It's muscled him up into power slam.
yes, and the beauty.
Yeah. I always thought that this ring was way bouncy. And it might have been just from the Battle Royal wearing it out. I'm not sure. But it is the bounciest ring I've ever seen.
The Hammer is hurt.
That's a trampoline in there.
Uh-oh, reversal. Wow. Shoulder first, right into the steel post.
Seems to be the difference in this match thus far.
Yes, it is, Gene, for sure. Davey Boy hurt. Dynamite screaming over to him to come over and make the tag, but I'm sure he can't hear. You can feel
Stop.
the electricity in the air here.
As I said earlier, you can cut it with a knife.
Oh. The Hammer now with that hammerlock turned it into a chicken wing. And now he makes a tag. As Brunei steps in, perched on that second turnbuckle. Wow, wide open. Davey Boy Smith. He needs desperately, Anthony, to make a tag here. He's in a lot of trouble. Snapmare, no.
Oh, wow.
By Beefcake.
Hammerlock slam. That was good.
Just like a bad man.
And that brought this capacity crowd to their feet.
Davey Boy trying to go over the back.
Mike, thanks for the 5. I got to think about what the oldest one is. Starcade 86. I've got a couple. I don't think I have. I think I've got that one. I think I do. I think I got Starcade 88.
And he goes with the hammerlock and rams the shoulder of Davey Boy right into that top turnbuckle and makes the
It might be this one.
And that hammer unloaded with a beautiful elbow right off the top turnbuckle. The tide is turned here. The pendulum has shifted and is now in favor of the champions.
And just that quick, too. That's the amazing part.
No, maybe not. This is 86. Tag team champions. Got the Strong Bows. Dream Team. 6 years of championship matches.
Oh, look at that. He did 1 on 3 count. I can't believe it.
You've got to be.
Yeah, 86.
The Hammer taking a big chance here.
Yeah, hammered. This is one of the parts that, or one of the parts of the match that cost him.
Davey Boy perched up on that second.
And watch this. Watch this bump. Ugh.
Moses rammed right head first.
And that's it. That dynamite bump. I mean, at least there's a mat down there, but I used to think it was concrete. But he just completely fell off camera. But it was the headbutt that did it. Knocked Valentine loopy. Dynamite sacrificing himself. And Luscious Johnny throws the referee out.
Tag team champions. The British Bulldogs.
Look at Ozzy celebrating with the belt. You didn't win? Ozzy. I don't see Ozzy in the record books as being a former tag team champion. But it's going to take a while. Oh, look, Susan, what's-her-face is getting in. With the heels. High heels. The British, he says it twice. Did he even announce them? Look, Dynamite is still down.
Davey Boy trying to get
Like, he just fell so hard and so far.
Well, Gene, I made a prediction some time ago. I said it would be done, and now I've got the 16 champions in the world. Got it all together, baby. I feel so good, so proud, so fine. Hey, Ozzy is the side, and Captain Lee calls me. So proud. Thank you. Ozzy Osbourne, what an explosion. You had to be a tremendous inspirational source for the world. Fantastic, man. The British Bulldogs forever.
Ozzy's nice and young there.
Absolutely. So Ozzy, you're going to come back in their corner. This is going to be a future for you. You heard it first.
Let's see if we can get these gentlemen up here. Bulldogs, we have the Dynamite Kid who was bleeding Captain Lou. You might want
Yeah, Dynamite might have hit. Did he blade down there? Once he got hit in the head?
Have you ever seen a match like this?
I have never. This is unbelievable. So fast.
I don't know if we're going to get anything out of them.
Shh.
Just
I don't know if we're going to get anything out of him.
exhausted after this one. Davey Boy Smith, our congratulations.
Thank you very much, Gene. As we told all the people in the United States of America, if we became the World Tag Team Champions, we would stay in the United States of America. This is where we're going to stay.
All right.
Okay, they're supposed to come here.
Able to talk over the monsoon. Let's go back to you.
Dynamite can't talk. Busted open.
Gene and Captain Lee.
Crazy.
Happening here at the Rosemont Horizon. History made as part of WrestleMania 2. As we have new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. Here's how it all went down. Look at this.
God, that bump.
The head of the hammer right into his
Beefcake wasn't there in time.
The Dynamite Kid, Brutus not able to make it in as he got hooked up in that bottom rope. The count went down. 1, 2, 3. It was an unbelievable happening.
It was a happening.
Just literally collapsing off the turnbuckle and hit his head right on the concrete floor here in the Rosemont Horizon. But there go two.
I remember thinking Ozzy was going to die back in the when they had that reality show because he was all like, he was all trembly, and when he walked around, he just mumbled, and I'm like, dude, he's dying. He's still going.
And thank you, Gorilla.
All right, official now, Susan. We have new tag team champions, the British Bulldogs.
Fantastic. What a match. It was great.
It was indeed a fabulous matchup. We, of course, are looking forward to the Los Angeles portion coming up momentarily.
L.A. portion.
And, of course, Hulk Hogan and the World Wrestling Federation title defense as the Hulkster squares off against King Kong Bundy. We look forward to that as the main event emanating from Los Angeles. Any idea who's going to win?
Well, the Hulk. Come on. For sure. Definitely.
We will also see, of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan at the side of King Kong Bundy. I wonder if he will be a factor in the matchup.
Well, maybe.
So they still have the New York location here full of people because they're watching on the big screens and they're cutting to Vince and Susan
And in a steel cage,
in between venues here.
clearly the first man out of the steel cage, the victor, and it could very well be King Kong, who goes through the cage. Who knows?
This is true. I can't wait.
Then again, the Hulkster could climb to the top of the mountain. He's been there before, and indeed he has looked both ways. Hulk Hogan, upcoming in Los Angeles, the World Wrestling Federation title defense, as the Hulkster prepares to defend the title in the steel cage main event against King Kong Bundy. We anxiously await that.
We anxiously await that.
Welcome to WrestleMania 2, right here in
Look at Elvira.
California. Joining me tonight, His Lordship Lord Alfred Hayes, along with beautiful Elvira. What a pair we make right here at ringside.
What a pair.
Some of the greatest matches, Lord Alfred Hayes, starting off with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat going against Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah, and we have the World Heavyweight Championship in a cage. And you know who that's between, don't you?
That's right, Hulk Hogan against King Kong Bundy, along with a tremendous tag match, the Funk Brothers against the Junkyard Dog and Tito Santana.
And don't forget we have adorable Adonis.
Adorable
Look at Hercules back there in that weird outfit. My Hercules LGN figure was him in that outfit. I liked him better with the short hair and the chains.
ready to go. WrestleMania 2 live from Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, This contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
He was so jacked.
Introducing first to my left from Tampa, Florida, weighing 265 pounds, Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah, he would kind of change his deal up. They'd cut the Hernandez off the back and of his name, and he'd shorten his hair up, get some chains. He'd get Bobby Heenan, who I don't think was with him yet. And Ricky Steamboat, just quietly doing his thing.
We have Hercules Hernandez, and he's really going to town on Ricky Steamboat, not giving Steamboat a chance in the beginning.
That's right, I'll tell you, Lord Alfred Hayes, Hercules Hernandez jumped the dragon right off the
They don't have the best sounding audio for this one. Who's this old ass referee? Jeez.
Advantage there. Jesse, and look at that lovely move. Steamboat coming back up twice on his legs, put two moves together, and now struck a third with it. A clothesline. And took him over with an arm drag. Two arm drags. And now taking control of this.
Steamboat with his arm drags.
I'll tell you, Lord, I've said it before, I'll say it again, all is fair in love and war, and I'm sure Elmer will agree with me on that.
That's fair, Jesse, but what's happening right now is a little less than fair because Steamboat is just
Jake reeked of cigarette smoke. Yeah, he might smoke. I mean, at this point, he's already outlived what most thought he would. At this point, fuck it. As long as you're staying away from the hard stuff. And he's not a crackhead anymore, then whatever.
heavyweight championship. And a win, more or less, could be absolutely critical. A nice move by Steamboat. A classic move by Steamboat. And down goes Hernandez. Steamboat with another arm drag.
Well, I'll tell you, Lord, you know, Ricky Steamboat's using his speed to his advantage right now. What Hernandez has got to do, he's got to get Steamboat down on that mat, and he's got to use that powerful strength of his against Ricky the Dragon. If he tries to go move for move with him, it's not going to work for him.
At the moment, Jesse, Steamboat is in full control of
Yeah, Hercules, I believe, lost to Warrior at WrestleMania 4, but that might have been a count out or something.
control against him.
Or DQ or double DQ. I don't remember.
Steamboat just going to town on the left arm of Hernandez. And even that tremendous towering strength of Hernandez doesn't seem to be holding too much avail against Steamboat, who's obviously very much on fire for this match.
I'm pretty sure Hercules might be winless because he lost via. I think. Oh wait, he might have won at WrestleMania 3. I thought he lost via DQ. Or no, double DQ. I think it was double count out or something. So he's winless at WrestleMania. Because at WrestleMania 7 they got squashed by LOD, him and Paul Roma. Oh wait, he lost at WrestleMania 6 to Earthquake. No, he won. He won at WrestleMania 5, beating King Tonga. So I guess he's got one victory. One WrestleMania victory.
Alfred Hayes, but then Steamboat has slowed it down, and it's been all Ricky Steamboat right now. Hernandez is going to have to go to some violent move breaker.
He sure is. He better get in there right away.
That was a vicious Hercules Hernandez clothesline right there, Alfred Hayes.
I actually like their styles.
He's got him down on the mat. He's got him.
Hercules is power, but he's also, he's got some, I don't know if finesse is the right word, because Steamboat's got finesse and he's very smooth. But Hercules, even with his power moves and his punches, he's got like a,
I sure do. I must say, I'm a little in awe here. I can't
he's coordinated when he does it.
The referee here reprimanding Hernandez for what he obviously thought was
Whoa, what a move by Hernandez.
He's not just like rough and tumble. He's got
Falling back and literally clotheslining.
He's got moves.
Hernandez now has the pendulum swinging in his favor, and he's really piling the pressure on. One thing I must say for Hernandez is that when he gets in front, he stays there.
Champ going up with Steamboat, and I'll say it, you know, Steamboat's one of them wrestlers, he needs fan approval.
He's one of them wrestlers. He needs fan approval. Does he? Does he really?
Steamboat just managed to avoid being defeated right there and then.
I'll tell you, I'm used to vicious horror and violence, but this is getting even to me.
Elvira, you stay with it because you're going to see a lot more than this, believe me.
This is just the beginning. We've got a championship match inside of a steel cage. It's never been held before, and I think Hulk Hogan personally was letting his ego get in the way. He should have never signed with Bundy inside of a cage.
Nevertheless, Jesse, he has, and we're going to see that particular match. And we're also going to see those crazy wild brothers from Texas.
Yeah, I mean, now would be the time to try something like this again. They're already getting pretty crazy with the 2 nights of everything, so why not split them up? Maybe just logistically, it's not that they don't have, like, the talent for that, but, you know, maybe just the personnel in general. Now you're splitting. Somebody's going to have to be in charge of that other show, and if Triple H is super hands-on, that might be hard for him. But they have enough infrastructure now to probably do it without any issues whatsoever. But if you put it in 2 different cities, you give more fans the opportunity, but it's probably not going to result in any more revenue, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're still just doing 2 locations. Unless you did 2 nights, 2 locations, then you got 4 shows. More tickets to sell, but otherwise, I think WWE would only do it if there was a way to make more profit from that. But I like the idea of being able to do that. Like if you did it in 3 different, there's Lee Marshall. If you did it at 3 different show locations again for a WrestleMania and make them bigger stadium shows, and you could put like huge screen, like Jerry's World, like that big screen, you could have the whole crowd stay there and watch the next leg on the big screen. Like there might be a way to make it work. If WWE can make money, they'll do it. And there's the Steamboat top rope high cross. You can barely hear the announcers. And Steamboat gets the win. Look at the audio guy trying to get the microphone in there. Lee Marshall. Such a simple setup, just concrete. They got a folding table out there. Well, those little tiny itty bitty steps. So funny. Primitive times back then. And that was considered pretty high tech at the time. Oh, here comes the match of the decade. Adrian Adonis versus Uncle Elmer.
We're back in LA for WrestleMania 2. And we got coming up Alfred Hayes, the adorable one. Adrian Adonis, and he's going to
And he's adorable.
with Uncle Elmer. Let's go up to ringside.
The shit lasted over a year. That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing
I remember as a kid, like, not understanding. I remember just thinking, like, well, maybe some men wear stuff like that. Like, I just remember thinking that. I'm like, okay. I definitely remember thinking it was weird. Like, why does he have makeup on, flowers in his hair or something? Like, maybe that's what some guys do.
The adorable Adrian
I was like, when I grow up, I might want to put a dress on. I don't know. Hopefully I'll look better than Adrian. Because I don't really think that's how you properly apply makeup. I don't think he's doing it right. This is bullshit music. I don't know why we're even having music for him. And this is a network edit. I don't know. One second. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Remember I told you I'm kind of getting under the weather? I just had to sneeze. So I feel like Elmer must have come out to some music that they've dubbed over here. Did he come out to Don't Go Messing with the Country Boy? He might have. Very progressive of me. Well, with all the TV and shit that I watched, I remember like being a kid thinking that like the grown-up world is going to be crazy when I get there, and anything is possible. I didn't know what to expect. This is like the worst network dub ever. And Adrian's prancing away. Jeez. It's like that thing in his hair is like one of those just cheap like bows you can buy for presents at like the grocery store for like $1. Just pink. God, this music. Hideous. Hideous.
Elmer with a cheap shot when adorable Adrian came into the ring. Elmer wasted no time blasting him into the turnbuckle. Irish whip. Whoa, upside down into the corner.
Yeah, pretty sure that
Bouncing around like a ping pong ball.
that music gave me lupus. Up there goes Elmer, tumbled down.
Elmer threw that so hard he fell down himself.
Adrian could bump though, man. He could fly everywhere.
The South is going to have to get things together.
At the moment, Adonis is right out of it. He's not sure exactly what
He just gained so much weight over the last year or so.
to here in Los Angeles, California. It doesn't seem the place for Adonis to be right at this moment.
Well, the worst part about the whole thing, I think, Lord, is he's getting his dress dirty.
Jimmy Hart.
Dress and there he is wallowing around on that beer-laden floor, Lord.
Yes, and he looks like getting these
The sound guy with the set with the microphone is cracking me up. Use a closed fist on him, man.
The adorable Adrian off to a slow start here in the mouth of the South.
Fucking Uncle Elmer gets a WrestleMania match.
He looks like he's hurt.
He's definitely hurting.
Elvira, I wouldn't like to see you in that dress.
Don't hold your breath, okay?
It's coming off.
Oh no, oh no, that's not attractive.
Elmer's had enough of that finery. He's going to show him how.
Elmer looks like he's 60. If he wasn't that large, he was just a normal sized guy, he would look 60. Oh, what a bump. Oh, the reverse Andre. Oh, that's rough. That's tough to do. That hurts.
Now Adonis really is in trouble. He's locked in those ropes.
Well, the referee should be stepping in there and getting it loose. Jimmy Hart's trying to do it himself right there. Now Adorable's loose. Adonis has had virtually no offense. But I'll tell you what, Alfred, for all that he looks like, he's still a very dangerous man.
Oh, yes, he is, Jesse. I must give you that. Because look what he's done. He's floored Elmer with just one mighty left to the midsection.
Oh, now up. Dress is off.
And he doesn't look too good at the moment.
Tell me,
Back on. Put the dress back on. Oh, what's this?
Oh, this is bad. Oh.
what's the dress put back on?
The dress was bad, but not as bad as this.
Oh, avalanche. Rough.
Look out.
Oh, missed the leg drop.
I'll tell you, Jesse, I've never seen so much cellulite in one place at one
Shh.
time, I don't think.
So much cellulite in one place.
Talking about Adonis.
Adonis going to the top rope. He's a splash from Adonis.
Damn.
And a kind of a headbutt. He's holding him down.
He got him. I'll tell you what, for all you might not like Adrian Adonis, but when it comes to wrestling, leg warmers and all, he's a very dangerous man.
He gets the win.
Jesse, and that was a deserved victory and a very hard-earned victory for
Oh, you get the little bow on your back. How cute.
on the back of the country boy.
One thing I can
That match was shitty, but it actually wasn't as shitty as I remember it.
wears pink leg warmers.
Thought it was way worse.
No, I made that one of my rules of my life.
Well, there you got it, Lord.
Let's go to our announcer for the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, now he's going to keep beating him up.
here is your winner, the adorable Adrian Adonis.
There's the winner, Adrian Adonis. And he's not finished with the big country boy, Lord.
He's not finished with a big country boy. Let's run it back.
Elmer said never trust a man with pink leg warmers. You'll have to remember that, Lord. Don't wear pink ones.
See, how could you say that? I'm afraid Uncle Elmer is not looking too steady there. He took a tremendous beating.
You know, it's a shame to see a man that size have to suffer so much pain. Wouldn't you say, Jesse?
The little bow. The bow on him.
I've heard.
He's a wrestler.
Look at these blue jacket security guards.
Now we're going to take time out. We're going to go to my colleague, Lord Alfred Hayes, with a big interview with the World Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan.
Standing next to me, the World Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan. Hulk, this will undoubtedly be your toughest title defense yet. It's rumored that you're not exactly 100% fit, and it's also said
You're not 100% fit.
psychological edge against you, having put you in hospital once before. Now, this is a steel cage. How do you feel?
Well, you know something awful, Alfred. There's a
Awful, Alfred.
going around, man, that the Hulkster's all busted up and laid up. So what? This is for the world's heavyweight title. We've been living this Hulkamania.
Mike Witt. I don't know, man. I really, really, really hated Brett versus Vince.
It's gonna live forever. So awful Alfred Hayes, even if I had to crawl to the ring with one good arm, brother, I'd
It might be hard to
Hayes, man.
find one worse than that.
Behind this world title like a man. And as far as that long, slow, rolling ride in that coffin, so-called ambulance, I've been thinking about it night and day, brother. I've been thinking about the animosity, the way I feel, the aggressiveness. And when I step in that cage with the whole world watching, man, WrestleMania 2, Hulkamania running it wild around the world, I kind of feel sorry for King Kong Bundy. I'm going to take all those feelings of him, slap those feelings around, take away that pride, man, and put the pride back in the world title, because I'm climbing out of that cage. I'm going to win that match, and all I can hope for is Bobby the Weasel Heenan. Please stick your nose in my business.
Everybody's fans, we say good luck to you.
Man.
Good luck, Hulkster. Oh yeah, Cole versus Lawler. That was horrible.
Well, we're back here at
All right, here is the Funks.
Funk Brothers with their manager Jimmy Hart. And I'll tell you something, Lord. These guys need to take a backseat to no one for just being downright nasty.
They really are, and they've
Kind of a short little run for Terry in WWE. It was wild that he was here for a minute.
Contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing in the ring, first of all, here is the manager, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And he represents from the Double Cross Edge in Amarillo.
Oh man, we're gonna be watching Hart versus Backlund. We're getting to it soon.
Terry and Hoss, the Funk Brothers.
I just need to look at the calendar and figure out which Mania to stick on which Sunday. But 11 could very well come up next. I think we'll do 12 too. You guys have been mentioning 12. I've been putting 12 off
From Tacoma, Mexico,
because so much of it is just one match. But I think we'll do it. Tito and JYD. We're coming out to grab them cakes. They didn't edit this. Tito looks like he's wearing a Young Stallions jacket. Thump. He always had the thump.
And there's the JYD. I'll tell you something, Albert Hayes. I've said it before and I'll say it 100 times. The man the Junkyard Dog should not be allowed to carry that chain into a ring. It's a lethal weapon. There's no place for it, Hayes.
No chain, huh, Jesse? Well, in a few months, Hercules will start carrying a chain. And I think you'll change your tune on that.
What would you expect? I'd throw a chair in there too if somebody walked in with a big chain into the ring. I'll tell you, this is going to be one heck of a tag team match. Chico Santana and the JYD against, from the Double Cross Ranch, Terry and Hoss Funk.
Yep.
And don't forget the mouth. Do you like the mouse suit, Larry? How do you like the mouth? You think the mouse dressed okay?
Yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't want to run into any of these dudes in a dark alley. Jesse, you know.
Yeah, Mania 12 isn't bad. I enjoyed Mania 12. I've got the friggin' plaque right there. I've got the plaque. I ordered on pay-per-view. The Taker Diesel match isn't half bad, and the Backlot Brawl is fun. It's just a short card, 6 matches, and an hour of it is Brett and Sean.
Body slam. Terry Funk. Another body slam. Hoss Funk. A third body slam. Chico
Funks are getting funked up.
and both the Funks are out onto the floor, and Jimmy Hart's going to have to get him out there and regroup it more. Referee David Hebner's got to get some control of this tag team match. It'll be tough, though, with the Funk brothers and JYD and Chico Santana.
He's definitely going to have his hands full, Jesse. Trying to
Yeah, Tito is definitely the least crazy of all 4 of these guys.
JYD and Hoss Funk. There you see Hoss going over Florida. Flagrant kick there at Chico Santana, letting Chico know he doesn't like his participation in the last couple of minutes. There's a tag, and in comes Chico Santana.
sensible tag at that point because Junkyard Dog has been
Yeah, Dory Funk would show back up, and
certainly through those 2
Dick Murdoch, the year before.
out of the ring.
Backlund made a couple of appearances.
Finds of wrestling, but he can certainly look after himself.
Although he's going to have to with the Funk brothers. Terry Funk back on Tito and the Funk.
Ha, Daniel Clark is 27, not old enough for you to do a watch along. Do we want to watch that one? We will get to 27. We're going to have to, but if we're already dedicating this year to like really shitty WrestleManias, I don't know if we want to do that one. But I think we're going to do 23 because I don't want to do all shitty manias. So I want to throw a decent one in there somewhere. So I think 23 might be fun. I feel like we've done 24, and 24 is about the latest we've done, I think. Or we might have done 25. But yeah, I think 20, we might have done 24, so we have done kind of high. And 28 might be kind of fun to do. We should maybe watch 20. I mean, shit, I was already doing commentaries. I have a review on 28 from those days. That would be weird. That would be weird to do a watch-along show from a time period when I was doing YouTube. But I've been doing it long enough now to where, shit, we can start talking about those shows. That's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, I think there's even between these 2, Jesse.
But maybe, yeah, we might not have done 24 or 25, but doing 28 might be a good idea since it's kind of relevant to what we're going through this year at Mania. Watching that first Rock and Cena match, hearing those songs again, Flow Rider, all that shit.
A blow like that could knock off anybody's IQ, I don't think. You?
The back of JYD's tights are too familiar. It reminds me of something I hate. Oh, I love those type of over-the-top rope bumps where you bounce your way out. Okay, last year we did 24. I thought so. Because I remember the Flair Sean stuff.
I don't know so much about that. This is a concrete floor outside here, Jesse. And that bump could have really put him out for the rest of the evening, and that would have left only Hoss to face Jay Whitey and Tito Santana. Pretty good.
Santana with a side. Oh, and Funk caught him with a big knee and a big uppercut. Chico's in trouble now, a second uppercut. Hoss Funk throwing those patented Texas-style uppercuts and taking the stop. Now they're going to work out in Funk style. Santana into the ropes. Big leapfrog over the top. Second leapfrog off the ropes. Oh,
Big. I love Tito's flying forearm.
cover. 1, 2. Terry Funk diving in to make the save.
Yeah, I don't know if Jesse called Tito Chico because of Chico and the Man, or if Jesse was just an asshole or just a racist. He called Hacksaw the R word right on Superstars. I'm watching it live as a kid, and he's getting on Duggan's case for like how he looks and shit. And then he just asked point blank. Vince is like, Vince, do you think he's a little bit, And I'm like, excuse me. Even at that age, I was like, did he really say that? But he did. It's kind of funny if you think about it. It's just like, shit, the shit you get away with back then. Or that wasn't considered that disrespectful. It's just wild.
He's hurt too. Terry Funk caught him with a knee from outside the ring. Smart tag team move back.
But Jesse had a whole bunch of descriptions for Tino. He called him a bean eater and shit like that. It's just crazy. He said he used to play in the Mexican Football League, the MFL. Like, he just had all these like one-liners for Tito. I don't know what his problem with Tito was. Tito was such a good person, good wrestler, respected, and Jesse was always up his ass. I mean, I know Jesse's a heel commentator, but still.
Why doesn't somebody get that guy out of here, that manager? Why didn't they get him? Is he allowed to do all this?
Sure he is. He helps us with the play-by-play with that megaphone.
Yeah, but he was kicking that guy.
Jay Richter, I think it's just not very long. Funk is not around much longer after this. I don't know how long in '86 they stuck around, but I'd say a few months at the longest.
Well, I'll say that for love, but I don't know about war, Jesse.
Funk going for the big suplex here. He got him up. This could be it, Lord Hayes. Santana managed to kick out of there. There you see Funk going after referee Dave Hebner.
Look at Dave Hebner.
Happy with them.
So Dave's already there. I didn't realize Dave was in the company that early. Earl'd come in another couple of years. Because Earl's in NWA. Whoa, shit. Oh.
Well, I hope they're wearing strong
I would have rather had this match one-on-one, Tito Santana and Terry Funk.
If they break away, you'll get a real show out.
Right, that's what I came here for.
Both men on rubber legs. Here comes Funk. Wham! That looked like head-to-head, Al.
Thanks for that, Motown Slim. Good to see you in here, too. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I never got a chance to watch this one as it happened. I didn't go to the closed circuit, so I didn't see it until the video cassette came out. But I remember getting the results the next day. Back then, they put it in the newspaper.
Well executed suplex there by Hoss.
Oof.
A nice uppercut. Forearm smash.
Forearm smash.
Santana struggling to make his corner, and he must tag Junkyard Dog in now because he is in trouble.
Well, it looks like Santana's not going to make it here.
I don't think so, Elvira.
I'm sorry, because I like those tall, dark, and handsome kind of guys, too.
You can't, now wait a minute. You're at the table. You can't be biased now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
WrestleMania, or I'm sorry, King of the Ring 2000, Fox Star Killer. Did Vince sit in on commentary or something? Why do I not remember that? He called Earl Dave Hebner. That's funny. Well, Dave was the referee when Vince was doing a lot of calling in the 80s. Maybe it was just a Freudian slip. But he must have sat in. What was the main event that year? Was that? What the fuck was the main event that year? Was that Shane McMahon Undertaker table spot? So that would have been like, I don't remember. I have no idea what the fucking main event was. I forgot. Or was it a title match? Maybe it was Taker, Shane against The Rock for the title? Is that what happened? I don't know. Get out of there, Tito. You've been in there a long time. Get to JY. Tag is made. Hell yeah, man. Michigan will always be my home. Jeez. Just a wild, out of control match. Go blue, yeah. I'll root for Michigan. I'm fine with that. Is this going to just get thrown out? What's the result here? The control is gone. Control has been lost. Funk is flopping, flipping. Nope, he's getting back in the ring. Junkyard dog. Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, Ryan, we'll probably watch a 4-hour Mania. I think WrestleMania 17 and shit and 18, right? They're all 4 hours. We got to all of those. Small package. No. Oh, figure 4. It's just neither men legal in the ring. Oh. Oh, the bump by JYD. Oh, they're going to win, too. Okay, so Terry Funk is also undefeated at WrestleMania? Who did I say earlier was 2-0? Mr. T? Mr. T and Terry Funk, undefeated. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was that weird tag team thing. I remember now. Is that how long 20 was? Yeah, we watched 20 a couple years ago. I mean, we've been doing it so long, we could always watch a show we've already watched. Just for fun. I might do that with a main event or something, like a WrestleMania we might have gotten to 4 years ago. Maybe pull out a match from there and just do a rando watch along. If anybody lives in the Southern California area, why don't you come down here for Survivor Series that is rumored, heavily rumored, to be here in San Diego. So unlike Revolution, I'll go to this one. And if enough people come down, we'll do a meet and greet, or we'll do a hangout. Meet and greet. Hangout. I'm going to sit and sign autographs. No, we'll do a hangout. Next. Who should I make it out to? No. We'll do a hangout. Boom. That shot to JYD. JYD and Valentine had just the tree fall bumps that always tickled me. Yes, Tatanani, thank you for the reminder. Dark Side starts on March 25th, so we will definitely be reviewing some of those. Started a channel called Go Blue Nation. That's cool. My dad went to Michigan State, so I'm Spartans first, but It's reinforced.
would never have stopped somebody like 450 pounds King Kong Bundy. He would have just gone straight through the sides of that, and that would have been. Look at the size.
I think that's where Vince got the idea to do the Big Show, throwing Austin through it. They've mentioned Bundy going through the cage twice. Or is this the debut of the Blue Bar? Or is this why they brought it in because of Bundy's size?
Yeah, the one where. Yeah, something like that.
Last time I was in Michigan, I drove by my old house that I was basically born in and sat and took a picture in front of it. That's me. That house right there is where I was living when I was just a baby. And that's in Waterford, Michigan. And I lived there until I was about 7 years old, and then we moved. But I went back to it, and it didn't look like anybody was home, so I sat in the front yard and took a picture. It's one of my favorite pictures. Go Michigan. That's right off of Dixie Highway.
Let me take you back to Phoenix, Arizona, the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. On that occasion, Hulk Hogan had a very, very important.
I love the background of Hogan just. Now, this is the match. I saw this. This was like Saturday night's main event against Morocco. And this is where they set the whole thing up here. And then Morocco kind of helps out. Yeah, holds Hogan down. Bundy has just such an interesting body. He was literally like Humpty Dumpty, or like he just looked like an egg, a big ass egg. No baby faces are going to run out and help the champ here. Oh, Morocco pushing down. No, I'll eyeball. We're going to have all the games on at the bar at work and stuff, and so I'll be watching it, but I'm not crazy about March Madness. But I always kind of like half pay attention. Obviously, I want to root for Michigan State, but I don't think they're going to do much. Finally! Bulldogs, jeez.
Is WrestleMania. Hillbilly Jim and Dr. Bob Ponovich right now at the side of the heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan, as he prepares for his big title defense.
Look at Hillbilly. Yeah, you're doing good. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing that.
Ponovich, if I can prevail upon you, sir. First of all, we have discussed the physical condition of Hulk Hogan. As I understand, you advised the man not to.
Doesn't look like it was that heavy if it bounced that many times.
What are the risks specifically, Doctor?
Well, I worried about the possibility of a disc problem in his back, maybe perhaps a herniated disc in his low back.
Would that result perhaps in permanent injury?
It could result in permanent injury and also surgery.
All right, Hulk
Oh.
Hogan.
Look at Hillbilly. I'll massage it for you, Hulk. Look, it's right here, Doc. This is where you have to touch. No, right here. See? If you listen to it, it might tell you that it feels okay. Dr. Bob, oh, a little lower, baby.
Well, 5.5 weeks, brother, I've been living this thing, man, after that slow rolling ride in that coffin, man, the ambulance, and I made a decision then, even though Dr. Bob Ponovich said
We are going into the main event. Victor.
To all those Hulkamaniacs out there to defend this world title. We've been training for 5.5 weeks, stiff-legged deadlifts to warm up. Dr. Bob, let's go for those heavy chins, brother, just to find out where it's at.
All right, Hulk, I'm going to ask you to explain as we go over here just exactly what is a heavy chin.
Well, mean G, when you see this 100-pound dumbbell strapped around my neck, brother, you'll realize King Kong Bundy and heavy chins, there's no explanation. King Kong Bundy's going down, the chins are going up, brother.
Wait a minute now.
500 pounds.
310, 312 pounds with another 100 pounds. You're going to do chin-ups? I don't know.
What? Are you going to do them like that? That's hard. I've got my pull-up bar, and I can do a bunch like this. I can do a bunch like this. But this is way harder for me.
Not this time right now.
Over 400 pounds.
Come on, Hulk.
Somebody, Jim, you as an athlete know about this.
That's a strong man right there.
King Kong.
That's a strong man right there.
I'll do 1,000, brother, to beat King Kong Bundy.
This is so crazy.
Please, you are proving your point. Help him if you
I doubt the
Hulk, this is it. It's King Kong Bundy and yourself in a steel cage
The-
as part of WrestleMania.
authenticity of those weights.
No way out. 5.5 weeks, brother.
Authenticity, I mean.
I've been living the pain. Now I feel no pain. I fear no man. Bundy, you're mine in the steel cage.
I'm glad that they cut that off.
With WrestleMania 2 right out of Los Angeles, Bobby the Brain Heenan got to be the biggest day of your life.
This is the biggest day of my life, and I'm the most proudest man walking the face of this earth. Because in some very short time right now, I am going to be the
Look at Bundy. I'm just going to go through life with no eyebrows because they're stupid.
in this man's luggage. 'Cause this is the new
Like he's clearly saying that.
world, King Kong Bundy.
Fucking eyebrows are dumb.
I'm worried. You know, I'm the man
Who wants those?
Bundy, and I'm worried that's a cage match.
So I'm just gonna shave mine off.
Beautiful faces on the line in there. Well, just worry no more because your fears are totally unfounded. You know, it's been proven by historical fact that every time King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan get in a ring together, that it's Hulk Hogan that winds up laying there helpless like a fish out of water, and it's Hulk Hogan that winds up being carted off to the hospital. And tonight ain't gonna be no different, Hogan. Fire up the ambulances. Get them ready to go, because Hogan's going to the hospital again. And like the man said, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the greatest mind in professional sports, I'm going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. It doesn't matter who likes it. Hulk Hogan doesn't have to like it. The man's going down. You know, it's like you said. The Heenan family, you don't mess with.
Bundy was big, but it was hard to buy him as a real threat to Hogan. But the cage match added a lot.
Professional wrestling, my Bobby. You know, the doctors in Phoenix put Hulk back together again. Well, I don't know if he's back together 100%, but the doctors here in LA are going to have their hands full because he's going to be put in different pieces because there's going to be a brand new heavyweight champion, and his name is Bundy. Get used to it. King Kong Bundy. No more Hulkamania, no more Hulk this, Hulk that. It's Bundy Mania from now on. The world's biggest and strongest, toughest champion the world of professional wrestling has ever had, and it's my privilege to manage that gentleman.
Well, I got to tell you this. The man who tells it like it is, I believe Bundy's ready. I believe, Hogan, you're in for the fight of your life. James, we're going to turn this town on its ear tonight, Daddy. When I walk out of that cage, see Hogan laying there. L.A., look out. Beverly Hills, let's go. Come on.
They're gonna go out on the town. Bundy out on the town. Look at Elvira.
I'm here in LA at the Sports Arena staring at this giant steel cage. Right now we're going live to New York with Susan St. James and Vince McMahon.
All right, Susan.
Do they have the cage like taped? What is that red shit in the corner? Just tape it.
Never gonna happen.
Just take the cage out there. Just tape it. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
As was mentioned earlier, the steel cage has been indeed reinforced.
It's been reinforced.
Hulk Hogan, something will have to give.
Absolutely. I agree there. It's pretty scary looking. I've never seen anything like that, but all my confidence. You see those, how many 100 pounds up and up and up? Give me a Bundy Mania.
No, Bundy and Hogan are they're the two. Bundy and Hogan both have two versions of themselves. Bundy has no eyebrow Bundy, and then he's got dark eyebrow Bundy. Hogan has blonde eyebrow Hogan and dark eyebrow Hogan. They're always keeping us on their toes with the eyebrows, those two.
Back now to Elvira, and we'll take you back to Jesse, along with Lord Alfred Hayes, and perhaps now we're ready for the World Wrestling Federation title defense. Champion Hulk Hogan to meet King Kong Bundy in Los Angeles. Let's take you back to L.A.
Well, Lord Alfred Hayes, there it is, a steel cage. Elvira.
When you see a lot of pictures from this show, a lot of them, you can't, they have it so dim, the lights, but you can see a lot of the crowd and a lot of the still shots. Probably look pretty cool being in the arena for it.
It's a cyclone fence, but in the case of King Kong Bundy, he's about 450 pounds. He needs a reinforced cage. Let's go up to the ring announcer for announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event.
Speaking from experience, no eyebrows is a bad idea. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce you to our guest ring announcer. He is truly a legend in this area and is known nationwide as one of the brightest baseball minds today. Ladies and gentlemen,
gentlemen, the manager of the Los Angeles
Oh, yeah, Tommy Lasorda. I forgot. I forgot. Now, what's the venue here? Is this the same one as WrestleMania 7? Is that where they're at?
May I introduce the officials for the main event? First of all, the timekeeper, a brilliant young actor, and the star of TV series Silver Spoon.
Oh, my God. Ricky Schroeder. I remember Silver Spoons. He's a little piece of shit. All right, you guys are getting to experience a Tito cough.
And now,
You all right, buddy?
your referee for tonight, one of Hollywood's best-known stars,
He's been doing that for years. I think it's just a hairball.
include the TV series
He's always okay.
The Wild Wild West and Centennial. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only
Robert
Robert Conrad.
Conrad. Oh, yeah. They got everybody out here for this. Ricky Schroeder. You're like, can you really believe we're doing this shit? What were our agents thinking?
This is the main event, and it will be held inside the steel cage. For the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, the winner of this match will be the first man to exit the cage, either through the door or over the top. And now, here are the participants.
Bundy never had music
By his manager,
until he came back in and was with the $1 Million Corporation. The cage is bent up there at the top.
weighing 468 pounds, King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, the escape rule is never good. Brett and Owen made it good, but just escaping the cage is just weird, since the whole point of the cage is probably just to have them fight to the death. And that was probably their thought process: beat them so badly you can just walk out of the cage. But then when you just try to make it a race to get out, and like, it makes it weird. But then sometimes you have both. But I think this is just escape.
And his opponent from Tennessee, California, weighing 302 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan.
I loved when he came down to the ring with the bandana bit. I love how it's just kind of taped in the corner. That's a pretty cool shot. Like, for 1986, like, that's pretty awesome. Hogan standing on top of that cage, that overhead there. Like, for the time, it was good. Wouldn't even scratch the surface of what they'd accomplished the next year, but still. I don't know how this felt. Like, I would have liked to have been 18 when this was going on, to see an 18-year-old wrestling fan, see how I would have felt about it. But as a 9-year-old, 8 or 9-year-old, I'm still figuring out that it's staged. I mean, I knew, but it was like still hard for me to understand how it all worked.
That's your opinion, Hayes. We may see a new champion. You can see the ribs are taped up heavily. King Kong Bundy did the damage to him in Phoenix. I personally don't think Hogan is coming back too soon. And they're going at it right away, left and rights, exchanging right hands. Hogan's getting the better. He's rocking Bundy back into the cage. Off the ropes. Big right hand driving Bundy into the cage. Elvira, how do you feel about this? Two men locked inside of a steel cage. Big foot. Bundy's in trouble early.
Well, I'll tell you, just seeing this amount of flesh in one place is totally awesome. I haven't seen this much exposed flesh since I was at Las Vegas massage show there.
Already, Jesse, there's Bundy trying to go for the gate with a hook. Soon stop that.
Now Hulk Hogan using it. Of course, this is a cage match, so rules don't really prevail.
This looks like one of my horror movies that I've been showing on my show.
Could very well turn into
I love it when Bundy gets opened up.
Hogan with a big chop driving Bundy. And it's been all the champion early.
And Hogan and Bundy, the last thing Bundy would do in the WWE was another little mini program with Hogan in 87, about a year and a half later, almost 2 years later, where he beat Hogan by like count out on Saturday night's main event. And then they ran it back a few weeks later at the beginning of the year in 88. And that was the night that Andre did the whole choking thing to Hogan. And that was the last time we ever saw Bundy. He was gone. Didn't come back till 94. I don't know what the story was with him leaving. Like, I would have liked to see him be a part of WrestleMania 4, be in the tournament, be in the Battle Royal, something like that. But he just disappeared. Yeah, I can understand not having cage matches and like more like the Attitude Era and beyond, because by then we had Hell in the Cell and shit, and we've had some Hell in the Cell matches at Mania. So a straight up cage match is something I don't think we're going to see at WrestleMania ever again. It's just not a big enough match. So if you're going to do a cage match, you're just going to do a Hell in the Cell. If you do a cage match, fans will be like, why didn't you just do a Hell in the Cell? So I feel like where the cage matches should have happened more in the earlier days. We should have got a big blue bar cage match at WrestleMania 12 or something, just for fun. Stick fucking Goldust and Piper in there. Just let them fuck each other up. I'd take a Goldust and Piper blue bar cage over a backlot brawl. I only kind of liked the backlot brawl. I didn't even really love it. Thought it was kind of stupid, the OJ footage and all that. Plus, it was filmed like a couple days earlier.
And the giant Bundy is a little ponderous at the moment, although he's certainly punishing the champion.
Well, the question is, how many times can Hogan stop Bundy from making it out that door off?
Now Bundy's tearing off the tape. Thanks for that, Mike. Appreciate the 5. Just say thanks again. It's been fun. Love these watch-alongs, especially during WrestleMania season, because there's always going to be plenty to talk about. Even if we watch a crappy WrestleMania, there's still lots to talk about. Tito says goodnight, too, as he's now chilling, asleep. He's the best. No, this one is L.A. They started in New York. Second venue was Chicago. Then they finish off in L.A. Bundy's so close. He's got one leg out. Hogan's like, nope. Yeah, Brett and Austin instead of the submission. I wouldn't want to fuck with that match, though. That's the greatest match in wrestling history. Don't mess with that. But you could have put it in a cage. But, you know what? Cage matches are better for house shows, to be honest. Or the occasional Monday Night Raw main event. Or an AEW. That's one of their go-tos. They can use them whenever they want. Oh. Finally, Bundy into the cage. He's blading. And Bobby's kind of shielding his head. That's smart. Ouch. God. I wouldn't want to blade. I get, when your adrenaline's flowing, you probably don't even feel it. I mean, I go through pain twice a week when they poke my arm, but it's just like, just cutting yourself. I just couldn't imagine. Oh, man, Hogan just opening him up. That looks so good. Bundy's busted wide open. This is grody to the max, she says. Oh, 1986. Oh, no. Oh, now he's right. Hogan loved to do the fingernails. Why don't they stop this? Wow, that side didn't even move at all when he hit. I mean, I thought this was pretty cool because it was kind of like a statement win for Hogan. Like, he fucked Bundy up. Busted him open. I mean, I still think it's kind of a close call in the end, but, it was a statement win from my perspective. God, Bundy's bleeding pretty bad. You can see it just squirting out. Nope, he's going to go backwards. Yep. We've thought about that, I think, Mike Witt. Thanks for 5 more. We could do WrestleMania 30. I mean, it's been... What year was that? 2014? It's been 11 years. Got the tape. Oh, God. You jealous because you don't have a cartoon show? He's going into the steel bars. Avalanche. And he hit him. He hit him. Oh, wow. That's a great overhead shot. Elvira marking out on commentary. God, he's so close. He's like touching. Oh. Oh, Hogan no-sells the avalanche. Power slam by Hogan. Picked up Bundy and power slammed him. Leg drop. And then he's just gonna bounce. Hogan, you could have just gone out the door. Even in these days, you weren't the most light on your feet. Oh no, Bundy's back already.
Hogan nearly out. Bundy taking a handful of his tights.
Shoves Bundy down, and now Hogan can finish. Taking a sweet-ass time figuring out how to... There you go. Nope, nope, nope. There you go, Hogan. How fucking hard is that? I could fucking scale a fence in 2 seconds when I was a kid. God. Hogan wins. You know what, Mike? Maybe we should just watch WrestleMania 36 and just torture ourselves. The Masochist channel.
Hogan chasing Heenan, and Heenan's back. He's trying to pull it. He got it shot. Oh, watch this.
What happened, Jesse?
Battle of strength between Hogan and Heenan.
A battle of strength between Hogan and Heenan. What a sentence. Who's going to win? Now, Hulk is going to probably choke out Heenan here. He loves doing the thing and throwing him down. Oh, Heenan's trying to get away. Surprised he didn't make it. Heenan's fast as shit.
And this is payback time.
Oh, good old atomic drop. Nope.
Steel bars.
Steel bars. Is Heenan going to blade too?
Against a steel cage.
I feel like he might.
It's payback time.
Atomic drop out the door. Down the steps. Oh, what a mess. And Hogan is victorious. Can't even hear Tommy Lasorda. Oh, now we can. And that's the first ever WWE Championship match in WrestleMania history. Hogan getting the win over Bundy in a cage. Yeah, Juliet, thanks for the 5. I was trying to say something along those lines. You know, with the 2 nights, they could do WrestleMania in 2 separate locations during that weekend. They could. But what I was saying is that really wouldn't result in more ticket sales for them because you're still filling 2 buildings. So why not just fill the same building twice? It's the same amount of money, right? So only if they start, like, making it 4 venues, like 2 different venues on night 1 and do 2 different venues on night 2, but split up the show half and half on each night. And then you could essentially sell out 2 more arenas, and then you could just show the show on the big screen to the audiences during the first and second halves of that. Something that elaborate, I could see that happening, especially with everybody complaining about the prices of WrestleMania. You know, the cheap seats are now $1,000, and so now maybe to help give more fans a chance, WWE's gonna do us this favor of running like 4 fucking buildings for WrestleMania. I could totally see it happening. That 4-night extravaganza shit, that wasn't an exaggeration. We might get there. We might. We're all loving Hogan posing. No, you could still do 2-night tickets if you ran the same 2 venues. Like night 1 gets like Chicago and LA, and night 2 gets Chicago and LA. And then you can still attend both nights, but you're splitting the show in half. You're only getting half the amount of matches. You're going to watch the other half on the big Tron. And the other venue will do the same when it's your turn to have the matches in your arena. So that would be a wild thing if they try to recreate something like that for WrestleMania 2. From WrestleMania 2, but like I said, they're not going to do anything that's not going to result in more cash for them. So if there's a way, if they like say, holy shit, we can actually fill 2 more arenas and sell the same amount of tickets, they'll get half the matches, but they'll get to watch the other half on the big screen. We don't really have to reduce the ticket prices for that. Now we'll fill up 2 more arenas. Shit, WWE's crazy. They might. One day. Yeah, I didn't know if was Hogan using, he was using Real American by then, but they might have been dubbing his song. there. He might have. They might have. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. I'm just looking here to make sure I didn't miss any other supers or nothing. I think we got to them all. Thank you so much for joining us again tonight. If you don't mind hitting the like button on the way out of here, I would appreciate it. And I'm going to put up a link here in the next hour or two for tomorrow's Monday Night Raw review. We're going to be up here later in the afternoon. I think I'm going to schedule it for probably like 9 Eastern. 6 Pacific tomorrow night, maybe a little bit earlier. I'll have to see. But I'll post a link to that, so make sure you join us, and we will be here to talk about whatever we see with John Cena, because unfortunately I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to have to potentially miss Cena's Raw appearance. If he opens the show, I'll see it. But if whatever they do closes the show, I'm going to miss it and have to see it when I come home. So I'll try my best to keep tabs on it and keep an eye on it. So anyway, thanks again for joining us tonight. I appreciate it, y'all. As always, on Sundays, it's a lot of fun. And I will be catching you tomorrow for the Raw review. Have a good night. Peace.